Okay.
So are we live?
Yep.
Yeah,
They
but
can
they can't. We haven't officially started
Can't
yet.
see ya.
You can't see us.
They can
but
hear us?
us.
Wait, who's in the chat?
Nobody.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because right now everyone should be getting the email or notifications.
Right.
Make sure you crack your knuckles into the microphone.
Yeah, damn, dude. Tap the.
You have to get
I did get complimented on the. I told you, Danny, right, about the article. So I got a
Oh,
compliment
yeah.
for the stupid article I write.
For the
on.
grognard?
Yeah.
I like the grognard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ray. How's it going, man?
I think they like the titles more than anything else.
They're good
The
titles.
titles are pretty good.
I like the images you take, too, you know?
It's fairly good clickbait. I like it.
I don't know what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I'll think about it 10 minutes before it's supposed to be due.
As usual.
Nobody complimented John. It was all about me.
It's fine.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I just
John
want-
is the most
I just don't
famous
want-
40K
I just
judge in
don't
the
want-
world.
I don't want John. I just don't want John to know that. The funniest comment though was when someone compared to. They said they listened to another podcast, Best in Faction. I think I told you, John.
The one with Mitch?
Yeah,
That's Mitch's, right?
yeah. And they're like, it's what chapter tactics should be.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
That was.
They're not wrong, though.
That was. I did not say that.
I said that.
I did not say they were wrong.
Yeah, Ray, I did, and I was not ever on. It turns out that having to take care of my kids all by myself is actually quite tiring. So I've been going to sleep like after my kids are asleep. I have no idea how I'm awake right now to do this.
Drugs.
Professionalism.
So I'm not even drinking.
That's
the
how
worst
you know,
part.
yeah.
That's how you know I'm tired. I haven't. No, not even drinking. It's depressing.
It's depressing.
All right. Well, it's 8:16. Should we go live?
No.
What?
Let me get the
I got it.
Well, we got to be
You got
super
it up?
professional.
super prof.
Super prof.
Do whatever we want.
I don't think super prof is a word.
It is
We can
now.
make it now. I was going to say. Coinage, man. That's all we got to do.
TM. Super prof. TM.
To be the mean girls of 40K. It's not gonna happen. Stop trying to make it happen.
What the mean girl? Depends who you ask. I am a bully.
It's true. You are.
We've always known.
I just realized I never adjusted the camera angle with people sitting down.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens.
Oh. Okay. Perfect.
Oh,
Good. Look at that.
Amazing.
Oh, man, look at. I am professional. Every now and then.
We're lucky.
I am not going to Dice Hammer Ray.
I don't think any of us are.
No.
None of the
I
three of
can't.
us, right?
Yeah.
Tom's going.
Danny.
Tom,
Danny
Jacob,
Kwan.
Danny
Danny
Kwan.
Jax.
Jackson? I don't
Jackson,
know.
I don't know.
Alan's. Is Alan going?
I don't know.
I thought Alan goes to everything and then doesn't.
He'll-
He goes and then
we'll talk about that.
stops or doesn't go or
We'll discuss that. I'm sure Alan will be on
stays up too late.
to defend himself fairly
Yeah,
soon.
probably.
But
Just needs to learn to take an Ambien.
God, yeah. Or stop drinking all the damn Monster energy drinks.
he doesn't drink the Monster. He drinks the Gatorade. That's all he drinks.
I see him drinking the Monsters.
Really?
Yeah.
When we were at Nova, he just drank Gatorade. He just went to CVS, bought.
Actually, now that you
Gatorade.
mention, I think if Barry opened, he was only drinking the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he go old school and just get like the big like can of powder and then just self mix?
No. Oh my
He
God.
should, but no, he doesn't.
He does not.
He gets the big ones.
Yeah, and he just gets as many. He like puts his arm in there and just kind of like.
I remember doing that and always making like triple the ratio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just 'cause.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
that sweet going.
I would go,
Oh my God.
except I've entered my off season officially as of about 4 hours ago.
Yes.
AYSO.
Yeah.
Off season.
Got the game schedule for my son's soccer games, and I thought I was going to be able to go to the tournament this weekend as my last hurrah, and no, I'm
Nope.
not.
Sorry. I thought I was
Last hurrah was 2 and 3.
Hey, that's wonderful. So wonderful.
my
Way to go out.
I thought I was going to continue my streak of being active, and then it's like, nope, new niece. Now I have to fly up to Oregon
Yeah.
this weekend.
Well, I mean, that's
Oh.
at least a celebration of types,
Sure.
you know?
I guess you.
Hey,
I don't know
Axis, thanks for the 6th month in a row subbing.
Yeah, thanks,
Nice,
Axis.
man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Consistency.
I'm going to give you some salt emotes. Not because I find it salty, but because that's what I do. I do salty moves. All right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back for another episode. It's been a little while. We took a little longer than normal because I was going to Nova. I just got back this on Monday
Yep.
on fabulous Alaskan Airlines. Well,
Hey,
I went.
I wish you could run Spirit.
I went on. I went there on Frontier.
Or Allegiant.
I used them to go to Hawaii. It was fine. Both were fine. No drunk people on the plane.
Aw.
Although it's a stark difference between the two
Right.
airlines. When I was coming back from Alaska, they had the little screen on the back of the seat in front of me, so you
Right.
can see where you're at or watch movies or
Yeah.
whatever. So it was pretty fun. So I went to Nova, played in the Nova Open. I went there on Wednesday, came back on Monday. Alan was there. Carlos was there. Yeah, thanks. Real quick, on Thursday I did help. They did ask me to help with the invitational in terms of
moderating, not judging.
No, but
It was like more of a
it was more of
babysitting.
like
watcher in the dark.
yeah, just kind of watching and making sure that it was fine. Though.
So you had a model, but no real impact in game, right?
yeah. The games they had me look at were fine.
Make sure everybody's hands stayed to themselves and nobody fondled anybody else.
No. Yeah, well, at least on the tabletop. Whatever happens outside of the game is not my responsibility.
Whatever happens in the lobby bar.
Yeah.
Afterwards, not your responsibility.
So it was fine. I watched. It was also a lot of fun watching the high end players play. That usually you can watch it on stream, but when I have an excuse to be at the table and
Yeah, you're not just the random dude fishbowling
Fishbowling.
and
Right.
pissing people
Yeah.
off.
and they did have to do that, especially towards the end a couple times.
That's one of my things that I do all the time at LVO when I'm judging. I'm always telling people, back up, give them space.
Yeah,
You don't need to be here.
yeah, they didn't really have to do it until like the third round.
Yeah. LVO is problematic because there's so many people and so many good players that
Yeah.
there's always going to be because there's always a table that
Right.
everybody wants to see.
Yeah,
Or you get people come in with their cell phones and start Facebook living the
Oh
games.
my god, yes, that's true too. That's right.
So I originally was gonna do just the one game the first round, but they asked me to do the next two. Luckily, I didn't have to stay till midnight because they unfortunately for the commentators, which is Jeff and Frankie, they had to stay for the
Yeah.
up until the last round at midnight.
Yeah,
But,
that's War Machine-esque style schedule.
I don't
man.
know.
That's
brutal.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
But
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun
I
doing
wouldn't
that.
turn down an invitation if I got one, Mike Brandt.
You're not going to get one.
I know, not. It's fine.
I wouldn't turn down one either, but I mean, I would only last one round. So
Oh, yeah, me neither. I mean, I might be able to win the first round depending on who my pairing was.
no, you wouldn't.
Depending on who my pairing was.
Okay.
If for some reason the people doing the pairings think I'm better than I am and gave me a really high pairing and gave me a really bad
Not
opponent,
It's not
You're gonna
I
get-
might last the first round.
You go in at
That's
32.
Yeah.
I would go in at 32.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You go
I
in at
do.
the Pablo slot, all right?
That's fine. I'll do it. It's fine.
So that was a lot of fun.
Just go in and try hard and ruin the number one spot today. Just try my hardest. Get him a draw.
Don't
You
know,
can't. Nova's actually hard to get a draw.
Yeah.
do it.
It's extremely hard.
I can do it.
You don't want to do it because the tiebreaker's very frustrating because according to their packet, it's rock paper scissors. But
Ray, that's hilarious.
speaking of the packet,
A tournament at the invitational of all the podcasters. The problem
That's
is
like LVO.
everybody and their mother has a podcast
Yeah.
now.
That's just
more,
LVO
Yeah,
now,
that's
right?
more or less LVO.
We can do an invitational of the first founding podcasts
that are still active,
that are still active.
but not well. You mean competitive?
Anybody who started at least 5 years ago.
Okay, well we're out.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We started 5 years ago.
No, it's 4.
Fine, 4 years ago.
I was there. It was.
You know
All
what
right,
I'm
Chuck.
thinking? You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of we tried starting one before that. That was
okay.
multi-game,
Right.
and like Brandon was going to be on it and do like War Machine talk.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, we had that.
yeah.
So I
that's what
remember
was-
being on that because we had War
Yeah.
Machine and then
Yeah.
yeah.
We tried that. It did not pan out.
Yeah.
So that night I stayed up till about 3 in the morning. I think Carlos stayed up till like 4.
I'm shaking my head in disdain for everybody can't see. I'm judging.
Don't look at me. I'm a scrub. Carlos is, Carlos was our hope.
You could have done it, Adam, if you just not been hungover.
Nah.
Yes.
Although if you had one loss, you could have made it to the top 16.
Yeah.
Because Brandon did.
Yes.
I only played the 6 games and then I dropped for Sunday just to hang out. Really quick because we have a lot to discuss tonight. I took the army I've been taking to the last 3. Well, I'm going to take it this Saturday too. So for the last few tournaments, which was the typical Smash Captains, Imperial Guard Battery, and the Knights, my first game was more or less a mirror match, and it came down. I went second, and I couldn't kill a 3++ gallant with both of my gallants.
Oh.
And that was more or less game.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about a 3++. It's just, man, it's
really
not
good.
It's not just that what the odds are. It's just the actual odds that you spike and get all 3s is so much higher than the odds that you spike the opposite way and get nothing and get no 3s. So it just becomes this game of do I roll well? Yeah, win.
Right.
Yeah, and that game I rolled more or less below average also on a lot of stuff, but going second didn't help. So I lost that game. And the way the missions work, the Nova missions work a little different than ITC. For those that don't know, they actually gave out this year little card packets, and everyone got 2.
Those are pretty cool.
And everyone got 2, and the second one came in handy because over the course of 2 or 3 days, you lose them. And they listed the main mission for each round, along with the deployment and the placement of objectives and any bonuses that were available. On the case itself, which kind of folds out, it listed all the different the ways to score. For Nova, the primary, there's two ways you can play the primary, either secondary or end game or progressive. And what that was, progressive, it's kind of like ITC, where every turn after the first, you score points for holding objectives. End game is basically is like GW, you earn points holding objectives at the end of the game.
Yes.
Okay. Secondaries is kind of like ITC, where there's a list of different types you can take, and the cards had there were individual cards for each secondary, so you can just have the cards in front of you to remind you of which ones that you have. So it was very helpful that way. And then they also have something called engineers, which you name 2 units in your army, and they don't do anything. At the end of the movement phase, you declare that they're going to investigate an objective, and you get a point. Huh. They can't do anything. They can't shoot, assault. They can overwatch. If it's a character, they lose the character protection.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome.
So nobody took characters. Right. They also had points for destroying your opposing army. So if you killed this many points, you got 1 point. Right. You got 1, 2, and 4. The total number of points, the max points you can get is 40. And then just whatever the range was in between that. So in that game, I think I got like 10.
Oh, nice. Doesn't Nova also in their packet have like a essentially a schedule of at this times you should be on?
Yeah, they have like a milestone schedule, and they were calling them out during the course of the.
Which is good. That's a really good
day.
Idea.
And luckily I was able to notice it because in one of my games we actually went almost to time. I was beside myself,
right,
as a night player.
Yes.
So my second game was against Chaos, but it was Abaddon, Cultists, Berserkers, and a Rhino. I remember this list because it was the only Chaos list I played against. Berserkers and a Rhino, a Warden, and 2 Armigers.
Nice. So it's a night version of my list instead of Bash Bros.
Yeah, and the result was kind of the same. He wasn't he was a bit upset. I'm not gonna say totally ruin the game or anything, but I can feel he was getting frustrated playing against the Knights because unfortunately for Chaos, because I've thought of playing a Chaos version, they don't have the access to stratagems that
Not the same ones.
Not the same ones. They have
or the same warlord traits of the storm.
no. The warlord trait and the relics are okay.
Yeah.
The stratagems are good, but they're not. They don't have the breadth of
They're
stratagems.
not House Raven stratagem good,
Well, no, they have one that's reroll hits.
but it's not reroll all ones in the shooting phase.
No, you can reroll hits either in the shoot or the fight phase.
Right, reroll all ones in the shooting phase is way better.
Well, it's not all ones. Oh, it's only the shooting phase. That's
Yeah.
right. But they have that, and they have rotated ion shields. Those are the only two stratagems. So
Yeah.
Well, they
renegades
don't have act as if you're at full
Yeah,
health.
they don't have
get
race
back
from the
up.
dead.
Yeah.
No, they have none of the good
Rise
ones.
from your grave.
Oh my god!
If I play that
Zombie
list, I
Knight-
would always have that on my phone, ready to go, just to play it when it
Zombie
happens.
Knight is the worst. Ray wants to know what your thoughts on the tables being the same in terms of terrain was.
They were the same, and they weren't. The only difference in which was fine. I didn't mind it. I'm used to just the variety in tables because of where we play and most and other places. At least you know what the table is going to be. There was a difference in height, though, of the LOS to the center LOS blocking terrains.
Okay.
Some tables I couldn't hide my Castellan. Other tables that was so high I could hide the Castellan from shooting.
Damn.
And the gallants.
That's pretty tall.
So and the difference is only like maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches at most. But
That's a
each
lot.
One floor, basically.
yeah, basically. But it was, and they also said that you couldn't put models on top of what they called the L. Now there are other pieces on that ruins area terrain that you could put them on, but you couldn't put them on the L part of it. So you couldn't put flyers on top, models, things like that.
Not even like the Smash Captains.
No,
Interesting.
no, 9 inches high,
Yeah.
but 1 inch
Away,
base.
yeah.
You know,
No, I saw
away.
that happen on the stream.
Well, they're not supposed to.
The guy was up there and he made like a 2-inch charge into Cat Lady and a bunch
He was on ruins, right? But that wasn't the big L.
It was
in
the big
middle.
L rune, I think.
Was it the center?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty
Maybe it was
sure.
different for fly because
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was closer to their edge or something, but
Yeah.
it was a big L.
if it was in the center, it was the big L.
And it was a big L for that Eldari player, too. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah. I'll
Smash
be
Captain
the-
gets
yeah.
Cat Lady first turn and boom, done.
I'll be the dissenting voice here. I don't like standardized terrain because then, part of the game is playing to the table you're on, right? And choosing what deployment zone do you take, right? Like, how do you deploy when it's not just, this is what the terrain every game is going to more or less look like. I think that that variety really adds that extra layer that makes a good player great, right? Is their ability to read the table, understand not just where they need to be, but how their opponent is likely to deploy to utilize terrain and to try and counter that. So I like that variety. I think it gets a little, it can get a little stale, especially if you're playing like 6 or 8 games, where
Right.
you really do kind of lock in. This is how I deploy. This is how they're going to deploy.
Yeah, and they locked in the deployment zone. So you already knew what the deployment zones were, you knew where the objectives were, and you basically knew what the table setup was.
So Ray was watching that game too, and commenting with me, which was fun. And he's saying that was at the Invitational, and then they made the change for the Open.
Oh yeah, I know in the open
Oh.
they walked around and made that statement on the.
Got it.
on the
That makes sense. Yeah, because it totally wrecked that guy's day.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Don't do that.
Yeah. If you're going to deploy, if you're going to, okay,
If
pro
your
tip,
opponent
if you're
has-
going against Smash Captains,
Yes.
you
or anything
never,
with fly.
yeah, never leave space for them to land anywhere near your
Yeah.
stuff,
Even
right?
if it's like up high, like you got to think about that.
Yeah, you
They
can't give
ignore
them
vertical distance.
can't
So,
give them a place to land.
I don't have to go down 9 inches. I just need to go 2.
Yep.
So my second game was, like I said, was against the Chaos player, and I went first, and that was Hammer and Anvil, but because of the Knight Terran with the in full tilt, I hit the Berserkers first, or the Rhino that had the Berserkers inside, and basically the Castellan just wrecked all the Knights. It was bad. Between the missile sniping sorcerers and the gallants just wreaking havoc on everybody, and it did happen where the gallant exploded and basically killed 5 units,
Yeah.
including like 2 characters.
Lord.
That's what happens when you kill a knight.
Yeah.
So
So
I don't know. It's just one of those things
Yeah.
you have to kind of factor for.
You kill the knight, it could also kill you.
Yeah.
I always tell people my gallants have 2 phases. There's the fight phase and the explosion phase.
In communist Russia, you don't kill knight, knight kills you.
So he he still wanted to play it out, so
That's good.
so we kept on.
I hate people who concede immediately.
He
Shut up, man. I do what I want.
I want to go to lunch.
Yeah.
Um,
I lost. You want beer? Yes.
Yeah.
Check, yes.
Well, it depends when it is, right?
Yeah,
Like if
that's
it's
true,
the
yeah.
first round and it's like, man, we can
just
get like
go
four.
to the
We can get
bar.
a pitcher in.
But it's an LVO.
comfortably, yeah. And I'm like, okay, sure.
We got enough time to go down the street to the club.
so third
We
game.
never have time to do anything at all.
That's true.
I
We
know,
don't
right?
ever have time to do anything at LVO. And then by the time we're done, we're all like, can we just go to sleep?
Yeah,
No, we
right.
still go.
We
No,
went
we
out
stay
partying
up.
Go
one
out
night
and
pretty
get,
hard.
we
And
go out and
I
get
was-
steak.
I did not enjoy myself the next morning until I had Red Bull vodka.
Nice. So third game was against Ultramarines with Gilliman and with about, I think it was like 6 different varieties of dreadnoughts and some vehicles. Celestine and some single model elites that he chose as, no, he chose his vehicles as engineers. That one was Vanguard Strike, and I actually I went first, and I actually lost that one. I think part of it was
How you lose when you go first?
That's not supposed to happen according to John.
Why you
I
gotta
know,
break the
right?
paradigm?
I think part of it was I think I should have gone second in that one, and just sniped with the Castellan instead. I rushed forward with the Knights.
Yeah.
It couldn't really.
That's a problem with a lot of Knight players. Is they
Yeah.
play them too aggressively in matches where you can't. Like most
Yeah.
games is fine. Throw all those bad boys forward. Throw your smash captains forward, and you know,
Yeah,
profit.
yeah, and then
But you
and
can't
then
always do that.
and then Gulliman with all the rerolls that all the dreadnoughts because
Yeah.
there's las cannon dreadnoughts, there's autocannon dreadnoughts, there's the Leviathan with the storm cannon array. There was a lot going on. So
Yeah. I really want to try my hand at the Gilliman gun line again, but he's a little too many points.
it's 400.
Yeah, so you can't quite do it. Like Reese had this crazy idea on my ITC weekend review article today, where he's like, "Man, I think Gilliman and 100 tactical marines would be good." And I'm like, I started pointing it out in Battlescribe, and I'm like, 100 tactical marines, he's taking them stock
Yeah,
because he's taking the 100. He was like, yeah, you take Gilliman, Tigerius, and a couple of the support characters like the banner guy and
Right,
the
yeah,
apothecary.
sure,
right.
And then Gilliman and 100 Marines. I'm like, okay, if you're doing that, then the 100 Marines are literally stock.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't afford heavier special weapons. Heavy special weapons are expensive in this edition.
Yeah.
To put on tactical Marines. Like, a missile launcher is like 23 something points, 25 points,
I
or
thought it's
something
the
like
same
that.
as Lascan now. I thought it was about 25.
25, yeah,
Yeah.
they're the same. Last cannon and missile launcher are the same. It's like, you could take a heavy bolter, but even a heavy bolter's over like 10. It used to just be 10 points.
Yeah.
I remember when heavy bolters were 5 points.
Yeah. And then
I remember when my melty guns were free, and they were master crafted for free, and my flamers were free, and they were twinling for
Oh, my
free.
God.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah.
Salt Farm remembers.
So the end of day 1, I was 1 and 2, just like BAO. Going into day 2, my first matchup was against Nurgle.
You were consistent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nurgle, that was the game that took the longest, with 2 Plague Burst crawlers, a bunch of bloat drones. He had Plague Marines,
Okay.
and
They're not that bad if you have one squad and you're using the grenades.
he had 3.
The grenade trick.
The grenade trick is not
Yeah,
bad.
he had 3. And
3
then
squads of them?
yeah.
That's a lot. That could have been a lot of Poxwalkers. That's all I can think of was
Well,
like, man, there could have been a lot of Poxwalkers.
I don't know if Poxwalkers would have helped.
They might have.
But,
They're going to get it in the way.
And then he also had a Demon Prince, no wings though, because they had to go WYSIWYG.
No.
So he didn't have wings on his Demon. The Demon Prince still got to where he needed to be.
Right.
And so I went on that one. I went second, and basically it came down to, and he was he's used to being aggressive with his armies, so
Sure.
he came closer to me. So
Sure.
my gallants didn't have to go as far. They start wrecking stuff. Castellan goes around. The gallants didn't really do too much damage when they blew up. So, and I felt like I was on the back foot going forward, even though I was still able to kill both Plague Burst crawlers. So what ended up happening, I mentioned this in our chat, and John, I think you were surprised about it. Because both gallants are dead, both smash captains are finally dead. He still has a good sizable force, so it came upon the shoulders of my Castellan to start moving forward, assaulting guys and shooting guys at the same time. And that's more or less what won me that game, because by the end of the game, he only had 2 squads left. And I may have picked Endgame for my progressive, and he had nothing left except for 2 squads in his corner.
Right.
And I was on a bunch of the objectives, so.
I think it was on the...
Was it the team chat?
No, it was the... Yeah, but I was thinking about today. It's on the link to my article about the Castellan today, on the Comp 40K page on Facebook, where a guy was like, yeah, you have to like move the Castellan forward, and you're shooting, you fire, and you move forward to go stomp. And I'm like, you're doing what?
Yeah.
And somebody else was like, I think he means that the Titan. I'm like, no, dude, I'm questioning why he's moving the Castellan forward with the intention of like stomping. And this other guy chimes in, and he's like, yeah, man, if I found that I'm stomping on models with my Castellan, I probably already lost that game.
Well, doing that actually won me the game.
And I take credit for that, because I'm the one who told you, just go with the Hail Mary.
That was the one where I was out on the back foot on that one.
If it's turn 4 or 5...
It was like towards the end of the game.
Of course, you run that thing forward, because if by turn 4 or 5... it's going to stomp on stuff, no problem. Even though it only hits on a 4+ in close combat.
Yeah, you still have 12 attacks.
12 stomps.
Yeah.
Only 12.
Well, come on, man. The gallons 15.
But you have to remember, this is, and this guy was making a lot of feel no pain saves. Oh yeah, discussing resilience saves. I mean,
nice. Yeah.
I was doing stomps to like one of the plague marines, and I did okay. Well, it was 3 wounds, and he rolled 3 6s. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's how that's gonna go.
It can get frustrating, that rule.
So
when somebody rolls hot.
But eventually, just him just shooting different things, killing different things, and then stomping and assaulting and getting closer. Because if it exploded, because he still had the Demon Prince alive, and the Demon Prince finally died. He actually died to one of the gallants exploding, and I was able. And
you have great luck with those exploding knights. I have terrible luck. I can never get them to do it.
In that game, that's when that game I was rolling well. I think I was rolling well with just in general. Although with one of the other gallons I missed with the explosion. I only rolled like a 3-inch explosion. So I ended up winning that one. And then they did the what they do is after 4 rounds they put you in a bracket every 16. I think I was in the 9th bracket or something like that because they also put you by how you did on your pathway to the bracket.
Your strength of schedule.
Yeah. Sort of. If I'm playing against people that also lost their first game. That's how they do that.
Oh, okay.
Or, I mean, that's how it was described to me. Anyway.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you want to win your bracket, just lose your first game.
Well, I win my bracket, so. But so the next day the next game was against Imperial Fists.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And
it was a really nice looking army from the pictures you sent.
Yeah, it was.
It's like playing against Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like being home.
And I've played against Imperial Fists before, but of course he had the 3 Devastator squads, scouts. The banner, the banner, the lieutenant, the captain with all the rerolls, and then he had 2 of the Scorpius whirlwinds.
Oh, nice.
So, and that one actually went second. It was a combination of him rolling poorly, and then me rolling average, and that's more or less how that game went because he couldn't kill a knight. I charged forward, start killing things. And that was more or less the game because by the time he killed both knights, most of his stuff was dead. The Castellan kills both, not at the same time, but he kills a Scorpius one after another.
Right.
He basically one-shots them, more or less. But and then the Castellan just moves forward. Where at the end of the game, all he had left. That one I know I did end game, and that one all he had left was. What did he have left? He was using the Imperial Fist, but I think he was playing them as because he had Pedro Cantor.
Oh,
Crimson Fist.
Crimson Fist, yeah.
But it didn't matter to me. I don't care.
Well, yeah. Hey, they're the successor to them, so whatever.
Sure. So he had Pedro, Thunderfire Cannon with the Tech Marine, and a lieutenant with or captain with the Teeth of Terror or whatever. Those are the only. Yeah. Those are the only guys left in his army.
Axis wants to know what you think of the Scorpius Whirlwinds.
Oh, I love them. I have one.
You use them, right?
I use them in my Chaos army.
Yeah, they're great.
Your brother uses them too, right?
Yeah, he has 2. He has 2 of them for his Raven Guard army.
So what's the difference between them and a regular whirlwind for those people who don't know?
Scorpius fires 3d3 shots, and if they don't move, they can fire twice.
Okay, so
good.
3d3 times 2.
Yeah.
Because why would you move it?
Right.
It's indirect fire, correct?
Yes. Just like a whirlwind.
Nice.
I got to play against a variety of whirlwinds that weekend.
That's because you were playing in the mid-tier.
Yeah. So I won that game.
I want to like them 2-axis. I just, I don't know.
The Scorpiuses are good, but the problem is the Scorpius, at least in Chaos, are like 200 points.
Yeah.
They're cheaper for regular?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I was going to say, goddamn Forge World.
They're about this. I think they're the same.
Because we got to say that at least once a show.
The better one is the person I played in the following game, I think. And he had, and this was Raven Guard. He had a Raven Guard battalion. No, brigade. Brigade with intercessors. Intercessors. Intercessors?
The plasma guys or the
No, the regular dudes.
Oh yeah,
Those are the intercessors.
Intercessors.
Yeah.
Intercessors, regular dude, tactical scouts, attack bikes, 3 squads of devastators with the banner, with the captain, with the lieutenant, but with an apothecary.
Yeah, the apothecary is like a must if you're going to run that kind of stuff.
And then he also had the Hyperios whirlwind. The difference in that is they get +1 against units that fly. And they have a 60-inch range and ignore LOS. So it's a little better than the Scorpius, and it's only 90 points.
Okay.
Oh,
Now you can say, hey, fucking Forge World.
Yeah, well, yes.
damn.
Oh, Forge World, how we love.
Pass a plastic
to hate
or
you.
old pewter world Renus the Scorpius.
The old pewter one looks like it, if I remember correctly.
No, the original.
The original ones. The original whirlwinds with the old, like, Deimos pattern bodies.
The
Their
original
launcher
one
looked like
had, well, there's
Didn't
a
it?
couple, no, there's like, okay. The original was basically scratch built.
Yes, no, I know that.
The one after that had the giant missiles.
The 3 or the 6 giant
Yes.
missiles, right? 3 on each side, yeah.
Yeah, that's what, then the newer one, no, the Forge World is like,
Yeah, it looks different.
It looks like-
the missile launcher.
it looks like the missile launcher from Rogue Trader. Yes.
Yes.
That's what you're, that's, you need to talk to your
It looks
TO.
like 10 grand.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's right. I do remember that. Yeah, 10 grand.
You may want to talk to the TO to see if it passes muster on that.
Yeah.
Most people really don't care.
If you're talking about LVO, you're going to have to send in a picture or all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
just like last year. So, but yeah, look, talk to your TO. Most TOs are cool with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as it looks good, they're okay
looks
with
good, and the hitbox is more or less the same size,
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
it's-
Like,
yeah.
I would imagine you'd have an easier time using the old pewter one with the crayons because it looks so different than the modern one
Yeah.
Right.
that it's quite easy to be like, yeah, those are the Scorpius.
Yeah. So the Hyperius actually is. I probably would take that because it's so much cheaper than the
The
Scorpius.
Imperius.
Hyperius.
The launcher, right? Hyperion
Yeah.
launcher, yeah.
Yeah, and it's +1 against units that fly, and it's 60-inch range
pretty good.
So-
And 90 points. I
and
think.
90 points.
Forge World. Why isn't anybody using those? Oh, because nobody plays Marines because Marines suck.
Right. Well, I'm putting one in my Death Watch army because I need it because I have a relic, and now I have to actually care about relics because I'm playing Imperium.
I'm praying that when they're done with all the codexes and they start to release the campaign books, that they save Marines somehow. You get a Primarch and you get a Primarch.
Yeah,
and you
that's
get a
how.
Primarch.
That's the only way I think they're gonna save.
But there's already
man.
Gilliman.
Yeah, but that's because they keep increasing his price.
That's true.
Gilliman.
But
Well, yes, soon maybe
Good old
if you get Russ, then you get to do Bash Bros Imperium style. Maybe that has legs.
I don't want to play that. I want to play pure Space Wolves. With
So-
the rest of the helm.
So
I can't do it.
so during his deployment, he was able to smartly basically zone out me any easy access to the meaty center
Yeah.
with between the bikes. And he had aggressors between the bikes and the scouts and other stuff.
Makes sense.
Because I went first. The problem I had was I had poor target choices instead of shooting at the devastators because I was scared of the banner. I shot at the troops because I took rank and file, which is basically kill troop units.
Yeah.
So if I had just gone all out and just shot all the devastators, it would have been a different game. But that was more or less what it came down to, just poor choices on my point. Like I said, I think in one of the chats I said, just like life, poor choices and bad dice rolling.
Poor choices and bad luck get you.
I think I put that bad dice rolling. And I lost that game, and I went first. So I ended up going 3-3. I actually won. I went 2-1 going second.
Okay.
and 1 and 2 going first.
You always have to be problematic for John.
I always have to be
on purpose. You
contrarian.
Destroy my worldview on purpose.
But it was a lot of fun. All the players, even with my second game with the Chaos guy, he was a bit frustrated playing against the Knights. I can understand that, but at the end it was fine. He was very very friendly and whatever. All my games were great. All my opponents were great. All people I didn't know, because sometimes I travel 3,000 miles and I'm playing against Carlos or Alan, who are also there.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Carlos got the bad draw round 1.
Right.
Because he had to play one of the other top players.
Yeah.
So that always happens at any large event usually.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Very, very well run, which I would expect.
All except for the elevators. Elevators had some weird thing going on that on Saturday when it was the busiest.
Yeah. I've stayed in that hotel before.
Oh, okay.
In Crystal City.
Mm-hmm.
And even back when I was going to do lobbying work in college, that hotel had problems with the elevators.
Yeah.
Like, it would just get overloaded with people, and they would be like, everybody off.
Yeah, it was weird. They would skip floors where we pressed.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
At this point, it's a feature, not a bug. Right?
Right. Yeah, because the one night you were like, these people bailed to go get chicken McNuggets at 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was
and
Carlos.
I'm like, oh yeah, Carlos. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. I was like, why would they walk all the way over there?
Because they're drunk. So stayed up late all weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting everybody again. Thanks to everybody, especially the people that with the Patreon to help me get there, basically.
Yeah.
But I can't. If you ever have a chance to go, I would say go.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just waiting for my invitation.
Oh God.
Keep waiting.
Yeah.
I will.
Stop coming in second.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was undefeated.
But you didn't win.
Nope.
Stupid 14 points.
Well, play better.
Damn Don Husen.
Just play better than Don. You'll be good.
But
I submarined too hard. That was my problem.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have gone 6-0 if you hadn't, so.
That's not true. I beat a lot of good players.
There were a lot of nights
A lot
there.
of my opponents went 5-1.
A lot of
the
nights.
hardest strength of schedules. My strength of schedule was at that event was harder than both Don's and Jeff's.
Okay.
Apparently, submarine is just not the ideal answer. So you should spike big your first.
I'm not
game.
sure I could have beaten Don or Jeff, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That's where my run would have ended, I think.
What? Okay, there was a question earlier from Axis of Entropy in regards to the
Primaries.
the tables.
Oh. Was it?
I can scroll up.
Yeah, just scroll up really quick. It was maybe which event had the most faction variety near the top?
Because this one was kind of all Astro Militarum, CP all over the place, Blood Angels, Knights.
We had
I
faction.
thought it was
really
Adepticon,
stuff.
right? Adepticon had a good spread.
Didn't BAO have a good spread?
BAO had a good spread. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And
There was only the 2 Knight lists in the top. It was me and
I mean, locally ours had
Ben.
a good spread.
yeah.
But so then what changed? Was it because there's a lot more top players?
Well, LVO didn't have a good spread, but that was because there weren't enough codexes yet.
That was still indexed, and it was
A lot of it was still indexed, and it was all like Ildari and Nari nonsense.
right.
Which is still great.
Adepticon had a good spread, but that was because Adepticon uses its own missions, which allowed for certain armies to do better. Plus,
Types of armies,
types
of builds,
Types of builds. Plus, it has terrible terrain, which allowed for you to build for the bad terrain.
Right.
I always state that they're still in 5th edition.
Yes, terrain-wise, particularly.
No, I
and
think
mission building. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So
take Grey Knights. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, right. Jeez. Necrons. Oh no, Necrons were the beginning of 6th. So I think that that Adepticon is just a totally different beast.
But I think Nova attracts, just like LVO. I think Nova attracts more of the caliber players, higher caliber
and the
players,
major power gamers,
and they know what works.
They take the things that are the best.
Yes.
They work out mathematically what's the best.
Yeah, and they do well, and that's what you're seeing. That's what you see.
Well, I mean, BAO, how old was the Knight Codex?
It came out in June.
Yeah, it was
So it's
only
like-
a month old. Barely a month
so
old.
I don't think a lot of the top players had shifted over there.
They hadn't.
Right, like
Or
the
had
idea of,
gotten the model.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Grant was still running the Shadow Sword.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I think the idea of the AM, BA,
they could've.
IK Army.
I bought and
Took a
built that
while.
entire
Yeah,
army and
it
paid
wasn't.
very
Yeah,
open. You could have done it.
Someone had did it and won an event in
Yeah.
at the end of June.
Yeah, they did. Yes.
Trent Northington, who came in, I think, like second
Yeah.
in the Open with the same army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was ready. He was already there.
Yeah.
And then they finally did it for ETC, and then I think now because you have more players with access that have the models, maybe they just didn't have them or
Yeah.
whatever.
Ray, I don't know what to expect in the FAQ or when it'll be out.
We can talk about that
Our
at
guess
the
is-
end.
He's just asking about it. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah, our guess is literally
don't
no
have
better
a
than
wish
anybody
list.
else's.
I think that the game is pretty good where it's at. I think that maybe
Yeah,
there
everyone
should be
has a wish
something
list.
that happens to a CP, the CP farm.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the fix would be.
I think we kind of saw with Death Guard of the idea of you only get CPs back from your strategy,
stuffs, right,
not
yeah.
from generic
So maybe
ones or
maybe
from
that's
other
what they
people's.
shift to. I don't know. But they save those kinds of big
Things
shifts
for chapter.
For chapter.
for chapter proof. So we'll see what they do.
I
I don't
would-
think the game's in a bad spot.
No.
I think that Nova is super competitive.
Yeah.
So
So the winner was won Nova? I forgot already. I'm still
it was
kinda-
Ganyo,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna
No,
say-
Ganyo won the Open. So second year in a row.
So Copac.
Kopak won the Invitational.
Right.
Yeah, with the basically similar list.
Yeah,
Somewhat similar.
that's right.
Not exactly the same, but the same.
Same basic idea.
So again, a lot of fun. I suggest someone, even if you don't plan on playing, or maybe you might not, because I wasn't even thinking of playing. I just wanted to go. But
If you're gonna go, you gotta play.
Yeah.
Come
I don't
on.
have to do anything.
And if you're gonna go and you're gonna play, you don't book your plane flight to leave during the middle of the last round.
Who would ever do that?
Well, okay. Carlos left after because Carlos left on Saturday because he lost in the first round. So he was like, okay. And then Alan, who had booked his flight literally months in advance to leave on Sunday, actually should have won his bracket, but he left.
Right. Just why are you even going if you're planning on losing and leaving?
To be fair, I don't think Alan was planning on losing, but he should at least prepare for such.
I know. Whatever. If you're gonna go someplace, you play.
I don't disagree.
What if I played in a different event, like Star Wars Legion?
That's not
Sure.
a thing. You have to
See,
play
hey,
out.
he
It's a
said
thing.
sure.
It's not.
It's
a thing.
absolutely a thing.
It's not a thing.
How about
We have,
How many
we, have,
people-
we have friends of the show who run a wonderful podcast about Star Wars Legion.
We do.
I do.
Oh, no.
Oh, I do. You do.
I do more.
Okay.
I was using the royal we.
As a collective show, we.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
I'm one of the
How many people were playing Star Wars Legion at the Nova?
I don't know. I
8?
didn't pay attention. It was sold out when all their events
16.
were sold out.
Got it. Sold out of 16. Perfect.
So much hate.
It's not a thing.
They played Kill Team. It was the first Kill Team event in the country.
That would have been cool to check out.
They were right there. The tables were insane. Then they had Necromunda playing also on those tables. They're in the pit. They're in the photos. Some of the photos I took.
Necromunda's still a thing now?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Air quotes.
But it was a lot of fun. It was just like going to any other convention. Like I
Yeah.
said, I suggest anybody go if you ever have the chance. Even if you happen to be like nearby, like let's say on a business trip or something, and that
Yeah.
because there were people there that were there on business trips, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" They would tell them, and they would come down to just check it out. So
That's cool. There's a lot of business trips in DC.
yeah,
I was going to say, I need to try and schedule a conference or something.
Gotta get one of those sweet defense contracts. I can go whenever I want.
sure. But real quick,
Is there a market for launching history books? in people's business?
No.
there can
Dropping
be.
them on top of people?
There can be.
Do the history books have anthrax?
Can I literally design a campaign that's to drop knowledge?
Oh my
No.
god.
That seems quite opposite of the.
Yeah. All right.
Seems about as good as like the turkey drops. Just as damaging.
No, you drop a 10-pound slack of flour from high enough altitude. It's pretty fun boom.
Yeah, it's true.
So real quick, we'll go over.
Paper. Poof. I got a paper cut.
Oh my god. So we can go over quickly the
Nova announcements.
Nova announcements. Before we do that, John, overall reaction to it? I was
To the announcements?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was. Yeah, I had the same.
They're fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I had a meh.
I don't know if I'd say meh. It was an initial. I think it was just the hype because they really did hype it up of like something just ball-shakingly important is
And it
coming.
was not.
It's the same hype as they did when so-and-so have awakened and they're going to go out. Everyone thought it was Necrons.
Yeah.
And it was Custodes.
Right, yeah.
It's that kind of hype.
But at least
But I was
Custodes was
okay
a
with
whole
the
new
Custodes,
army.
because it's a whole new army,
Sure.
and like literally, yes, they did awaken and they came. I got it because those dudes were taking a 10,000-year nap. Got it. But like
They were doing the games.
they're doing, yeah, right. They were playing the long game. Yeah, I mean it was just like whatever. It was fine.
Although the more
Like it was cool that there's cool stuff. It was cool that there's orcs. It was cool that they gave pictures of the Sisters of Battleheads. But like, I think the problem is people expect it to be like LVO level reveal.
Or even Adepticon
Adepticon
or
reveal.
Nova last year. Or no,
Because
yeah,
they're
Nova
like,
last
they're
year.
gonna do a reveal, so it's gonna be something crazy. Like it's gonna be you're gonna see Armigers,
Right.
and you're gonna see like the Drukhari, and you're gonna see.
I mean, they
the
didn't
Crystal
even
Leaf
talk
pattern.
about like Gene Stealer Cult.
No, they didn't. No release schedule stuff really.
Right.
Right.
Here's Speed Freaks. Here's some stuff we're working on, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of which,
People want stuff.
since
that's
John's
more
jumping
concrete.
ahead,
Well,
You
Yes.
asked me what my impressions were, man. Don't get mad.
I said impressions, not a dissertation.
I'm not even
I will.
drinking during this one.
I will quickly jump in on this. So, the more I've thought about the releases, though, I will say the more I realize that a lot of them are actually pretty interesting and worth engaging.
Okay.
Right. Like.
So let's start with the first then.
So the
Speed Freaks.
October.
October.
So Speed Freaks, I don't know. It looks like another just box game that maybe you'll buy to be able to get the new models.
It'll be like Betrayal of Cal. You just
Yeah,
buy to get
exactly.
models.
Like the game doesn't look all that fun, to be honest.
What do you
But those
think-
are some pretty slick ass models.
They're cool models.
What do you think of
That
that-
box is designed to sell buggies.
Yeah.
What do you think of them being on?
Trikes.
What do you think of them being on bases?
It's just easier at this point.
Aren't
like
they,
just mechanically,
aren't
it's
all
just
that kind of stuff on base? Like Sentinels on
bikers
base.
were
Right, but those are walkers.
My favorite troll ever that Warhammer community has done was that one.
Mm-hmm.
Where the
Oh,
guy was
yeah.
like, "Oh, these are on bases. I'm out. I'm not playing this game. Blah blah blah. This is one step too far. Vehicles
Oh,
on
one-
bases
yeah.
is one line too far." And the Warhammer community guy was like, "Vehicles on bases, you say?" And he put a bunch of pictures of like
It was
the
a
Sentinel on
Sentinel.
base, and
But he said this is awkward,
right. He goes, "This is awkward."
and then the
yeah.
War Walker.
yeah.
But those are walkers, like the Dreadnought and whatever. They never put a wheeled or tracked that I can remember. Vehicle
No,
on
they
a
had that
base.
before. Doesn't the
bikes are on bases.
Yeah,
Okay, that's not the same as a
what is
vehicle.
that stupid big?
They have a toughness, they don't have an arm.
Primaris thing.
The Redemptor?
Didn't that come with the base? Or was
Yeah,
that
because it's a Dreadnought.
no, not the Redemptor, the tank.
Oh, the
yes.
tank. It comes with a flying
flying
base.
base.
That's not the same
There's
thing.
plenty of vehicles that have flying bases. People just need
That's
to
not the
stop
same.
being so picky
That's not the same.
and salty over every little thing. And that's
That's
coming
not
from
the
me.
same. What do you think of the orc roll that always hit on sixes?
I think it's much needed. I think it definitely makes a shooty orc army playable since it's not now. Since if you
Yeah.
go against Altiok, it's like fuck off. you
Right,
can't
yes.
you can't actually hit me.
I'm gonna go with what I saw on Facebook and say, why didn't Tau should get something like that?
God, the Tau group. Every release that group
Why
is
don't
the
we have
worst.
this?
Oh, Tau should have got that. Tau should have got that. Tau should have got that. We will be back. Tau should have got that. Oh, God. I've just I've just resigned myself every time those threads start in those Tau groups to just jump in and do the Michael Jordan gif. Stop it. Get some help.
They're just looking for some love.
Okay, Tau groups, don't start any more Reddit threads about me, okay?
It's not all about you, John. Okay,
Yeah,
so
they
Sister
do.
Battle, they mentioned two things. One, they showed a picture of the different heads. I actually kind of like them. I like the one with the helm visor open.
Yeah,
That's probably-
I like all the heads.
That's probably my favorite. Well, the one with the monocle is kind of...
the facial expression's a little.
But I like the other ones. Almost, I mean...
No, I mean I really like them. I
I
like
don't know
that
when I
there's
started Sister's
there's
Army,
clear.
but-
Yeah,
Maybe, I don't know. I just start every armor.
yeah, exactly.
To be honest.
And
And then, go ahead.
I was gonna say the big thing is that they're in chapter approved we'll get a beta codex.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
I think what's really key about that is because I was thinking about it is this will be the first codex that they've written in 8th edition, right? Because we know all the codexes and indexes were written already, and it's just been play testing and like the refining.
I don't know
process.
if all the codexes have been written.
I think the vast majority of them have been.
At least the core of it.
The core ones, yeah.
And maybe I mean, they know what everything does, or probably the special rules, but like you were saying, it's probably just the points adjustments maybe, or some abilities.
Right.
Like we saw with the Space Wolf Warlord trait snafu, for lack of a better term.
It's just wrong in the English one. They didn't catch it in time.
Yeah, so I think
it wasn't even that it was a mistake. They play tested it after they'd already printed them. And were like, these aren't the way we want them to work.
Right.
And they were able to stop the presses on all the non-English ones.
Right.
And they just released it for free. And people were salty about that.
People are salty about everything.
Like, oh my god, can you believe there's already a page I have to download for free that fixes a mistake that they made that makes this book better? Can you believe it?
There shouldn't be any mistakes, John.
Yeah, I know. People shouldn't make any mistakes ever. Thanks to everybody who voted a certain way last election.
I have to go there.
Oh, okay. There
I
goes the
didn't call
rails.
anybody specific out.
There goes the rails.
There's no rails to come off.
Well, I don't know. We haven't made a Futurama reference in the
Oh.
show yet. That's pretty.
It's 'cause
Oh no,
Tom's
wait! I
not
did
here.
Pepperidge Farms. I did the Pepperidge.
You did the Pepperidge Farms, but that's Family Guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, the beta.
This show doesn't have any rails. Let's just be
the
real.
beta
Pretty good.
codex.
I don't know. That's a little harsh. But yeah, I think it's interesting because it's besides being beta tested by us, by everybody, which means people are going to find the broken combos,
Which
and
is
things
cool.
Like that.
It's
Right.
cool. I like the idea of beta testing the whole thing. That was something I'd forgotten about that I actually liked a lot.
Yeah.
With the reveal.
And
Now that's not the reveal being cool. That's them revealing something cool,
Right.
which is.
Well, I think it also shows you just how I mean, again, that this is not a codex that they have really sat down and decided to do, right?
Right.
Because they don't have them. They don't have models really ready to go yet,
Nope.
right? They've got pieces of them.
Yeah.
They're gonna beta codex the rules, which means they're probably still working on the rules right now.
Which is cool too.
Probably polishing them to get ready for printing for chapter approved, because that's going to printer soon.
Mhm.
It'll be out in December, and so that's really interesting. And I think it's a good indication that they're listening to their player bases, and that they want,
for sure.
and that they embrace the crowdsourcing future, right? That it's a lot easier to just ask everybody to look
To
at
help.
something
Right.
than even just. I think maybe one of the problems they ran into is that they saw having like 100 really good players around
Still
the
didn't
world
work.
playtest doesn't work the same way, because
It's
it might
not the
catch
same, right.
it'll catch some things your design studio absolutely won't, but
Yes.
it's not going to catch everything, and they're really aiming to produce the highest quality material that they can right now, and I think that actually is one of their goals that they're actually trying to live up to.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so I think it's a good step forward. I'd love to see them do that with pretty much any new codex. Here it is, 4 months, 6 months before it's a release. Here's a beta codex.
Mm-hmm.
Break it, guys, please.
Yeah,
Right,
so we can make sure it's balanced when it's
Right.
ready to come out. And all that
or at
stuff.
least just works the way we want it to work.
Yeah,
right,
that's
like
true.
the way we envisioned it. Because I do defend their
so
right
you
to
don't
create a
have
broken ass
Forge
product.
World repressors that you still shoot out of the top of, like it's 7th edition, even though it's 8th edition. They're like, oh no, we totally meant for it to work that way. Trust us.
Do you think the Forge Roll unit will be in that beta codex?
I'm hoping that Forge
I don't
World's
think
not
it
a
will.
thing by the beta codex.
Forge World.
Like, can't they just absorb them at this point? Come on, just do it. Pull the trigger.
They're not going to do it.
Hire a super
Well, I
good
don't-
lawyer. And pull
Well,
the trigger.
with the new
With the new pricing, they
The new
might
pricing,
when they see those
yeah.
prices, when they see that sales drop, and
Man, that
a
pricing's
lot
like
of
another thing, like,
a lot
are
of
you
rich
just gonna shoot
recasters.
yourselves in the foot.
I think they
completely?
are. Well, again, this actually is a nice segue into the night news about that
Oh, yeah.
they're making
Mhm.
they're
Plastic
making
versions.
plastic Questoris weapon upgrades.
Yeah.
So you're not getting the true Questoris body,
Right.
but you got the weapons, and that seems like just kind of a move to be like, F you, Forge World.
Yep.
Right? Like, knights are a very popular part of your lineup. We're just going to give people a cheaper option.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they were really serious about, like, we need to, we need to protect Forge World and make sure that they're doing well, they would never do that.
No.
Ever.
Right.
It's also, just noticing from the Titanicus Codex, all the Forge World only options are gone. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Just wrote it out.
Yeah, like
straight out.
Sky Slasher Swarms, like, those are just
I don't know
gone.
what that is.
They're
I
the
would
flying-
love for chapter
the flying
approved
little
to
guys.
finally get rid of this stupid flowchart.
Yes. Oh my
For
god.
them
But the
Yes.
flowchart's not even. It's the designer commentary. It's not
Right.
even fucking
I
chapter
would love for them to
approved.
chapter approved to be like, okay, for match play,
No flowchart.
This flowchart is not.
That's all they need to say. That's all they need to do.
Because the flowchart is dumb.
Yes.
Because the reason they have that flowchart, I don't think it's for competitive. I think it's just for narrative.
Yeah,
and it's
play.
fine just to say
It's
open
totally
narrative.
fine to be like,
do
open
what
play,
you got to
narrative play, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do whatever you want. But for match play, this is problematic. We understand it's problematic. It's gone.
Do you care about the comic?
No.
What
I mean, I remember reading it.
Yeah, back
it's
in the
funny.
day. Turn signals on the Land Raider.
Huh?
There we go. I think that was before your time, John.
Yeah. Oh, what
Nothing
about
was
Kill Team
before my
Command
time.
roster?
I'm still scrolling.
Kill Team Command roster.
If it's as good as the 40K one,
It's
we can
combat
pass.
roster.
Yes.
War Scroll Builder is not bad through the AOS app.
No, it's not. But
Yeah,
that's not
no,
what we're
right.
talking about.
Terrible.
We're talking
I
about
don't know. Maybe they go 2 and 1 like you. All right.
2 and 1. You tell me. You play Kill Team. I'm
Yeah.
still.
Oh, jeez. Chris goes, I put both Custodes dreads in my shopping cart for $212 after the taxes.
Yeah.
And then he ordered them both for $36, I assume from China. Oh, my Lord.
Again, there's
Oh, my God.
That's ridiculous.
That's terrible. And yes, no. Again, it's not saying no index only units.
It'll
We're just
be
saying
if they don't
there's-
have a codex.
or if there's no duplication. If you're like,
Well-
your RTOC's in the codex, or you could take the index codex. Just
Oh, right.
FU RTOC. Like,
Yeah,
you can't.
If there's an index option for your autark, that's the one you use.
No,
No.
I
I'm
mean,
saying
the
if
codex.
Codex
option,
option.
that's what
Codex
you
option
use.
exists.
Inquisition, which is still
So no,
index,
no more.
totally fine.
Aw.
Sisters of Battle are still index only
So-
technically because there's no beta yet.
Right.
Fine.
So Khan doesn't get a bike.
Well, too bad.
Bad.
Walking or riding with
Whatever.
randomly. All right.
You know what? Then give them the thing in the codex.
I
The
know,
reason they
right?
don't give it
Or
to
give
the
them a
codex is
model.
because there's no model for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the codex, they're only giving things where they have models for it.
Yes. Yeah. That's why my
Which
Chaos
means-
Sorcerers don't have bikes.
Right, because that's
Yeah.
not a thing.
Which is why we're getting cons. I don't know.
Don't get any Primarchs ever.
Warhammer, do we care about Shadespire? What? or
I
the new-
love Shadespire. I just never get to
Nightbolt.
play it, so
It's
you
cool,
know.
and the models are cool.
Yes.
I will always talk about cool looking models from
And
this
that,
company.
yeah, we get that flying
Amazing,
squig.
Awesome models.
That flying squig's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
I don't usually like weird, funky models. Like the one thing I don't like from Age of Sigmar is the stupid water people.
Oh, the
Deepkin?
Deepkin.
Yeah, I don't like the. Hey, we brought our
You
magic
mean
water
the
with us.
Aquaman army?
Yeah,
After I
just-
saw that
I
trailer?
know that.
Just-
Yeah. I'm surprised no one photoshopped that.
It's a meme ready to happen.
I
Just
know.
Photoshop out.
Yeah.
I don't like that
I
armor.
love
But
it. I'm
but
sorry, I
the
love
rest
the
of the
turtle.
models are great. I love.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I love the turtle. I'm sorry,
models
the
are
war
cool.
turtle is awesome.
The war turtle is cool, but the whole idea of like we brought the water with us. We're magic. I'm just like stop,
It's magic.
It's magic. Yeah.
Magic, bitch.
stop.
We're these super
This was
genetically enhanced super soldiers without helmets when
Yes,
there's
see,
fucking
that's
nukes.
totally fine. That's totally
That's
fine.
totally fine.
It's not magic. It's science.
And psychic powers and demons
Science,
and science.
bitches. Well, do I like playing Psychic Heavy List?
If they won, you would.
No. When I was playing
Yeah,
Wolfenstein.
you were playing. Yeah, you were playing like Conclave.
I remember you borrowing my wolf.
I did. This is
Um,
always my problem with D&D too. I don't
Oh.
like magic.
oh, okay.
Then
So
play,
I
oh,
always-
that's why you have to play. What is it?
It's a barbarian.
Forgotten
No,
Realms.
for-
with,
not Forgotten
with
Realms.
magic is like dying or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it's a version of that. It's the post-apocalyptic one, like in the desert landscape.
It's forgotten.
No,
that's
Fading
not,
Suns.
Dark Sun.
Dark Sun.
Yeah, there were magic's like super rare,
Super
yeah,
rare,
and
yeah.
metal is super rare. So
Yeah.
like getting bone armor is like fuck yeah.
You see, I don't like that either.
Access to the entry says John has found the limit of his imagination
Oh,
for
we-
fantasy.
No, because like I love Harry Potter.
That's
What?
literally about a kid going to school
I don't.
for fucking magic.
I don't play any games with magic. Like I don't like games that have magic.
I was telling my wife
because
because
I always. You know what ruined it for me? What ruined it for me was second edition D&D. Because
Oh.
the stupid Psionics handbook,
Yeah,
and the Mage's handbook, and this handbook, and the spell, and then they had all those books they put out that were all the crazy spells,
Yeah.
and like they just broke the game. And I remember going to a couple D&D second edition sessions and be like, I want to play my fighter thief that I love to play. And this guy's like, I'm this mage, and I'm this wizard, and I'm this sorcerer, and I'm this psionic, and I'm this thing. And they're like, yeah, so I'm going to teleport through this wall over here, and I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to fireball through the teleportation hole. I'm like, what's going on around here?
I stabbed this guy.
Yeah, I'm like, can we play this game? I shoot this guy with my bow and arrow, and I use like precision shot and put it through his eye. Can we play?
Yeah.
Or can you stop jumping through walls? All right, I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna teleport up to the top of this tree and then I'm gonna drop you down top with your knife. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this.
That sounds fucking cool. I'm sorry. Like,
I was telling,
a fucking plebe.
I was telling my wife because she was watching the Harry Potter like marathon they just did for the Labor Day, and I was like, I'm kind of disappointed because they have all these fight scenes, and it just takes one spell hitting them, and they're dead. Wouldn't you have like all kinds of protection? And maybe it's the D&D, or even fantasy. Like, I have this robe that's like.
Also, part of me is like, really, like, no one just has a gun. Like, you've not watched World War I and World War II because it's just all this thing of like Avada Kedavra. Right. It's like some guy can literally just be like, clack.
Yeah.
I think I got him.
Right.
Right, or just punching people. Like they're always like close up and they're like dueling. Yeah. It's like if someone's within arm's reach of me, I'm just gonna grab their one hand and
see. And that's the thing. That's the thing I hated about the 7th movie.
Right.
Or the whatever. Yeah, like the 8th movie. Yeah. Was Voldemort like is like punching and grabbing at Harry, and I'm like, no, his character would never do that. Right. Because he's all about how like magic makes him better than Muggles, and they have to resort to these types of things, and so like. Of course he would never do that. This is BS. That'd be like Voldemort pulling out a gat and killing you with it. He would never do it because...
Which also would have solved his problem.
That's true. That's true. I'm not saying there aren't extensive loopholes in the Harry Potter universe, because there are. I'm saying I enjoy that because I don't have to play with it. I just have to read it and enjoy it.
Fair enough.
So you like Game of Thrones because there's very little magic?
Yes, I actually prefer Game of Thrones over like
something more magic heavy.
Like I never liked Sword of Shannara. That's the one.
Oh yes,
that's like
Shannara,
heavy magic, right? In that world.
Yeah.
And like even Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings doesn't have a ton of magic.
No, it doesn't, and it's not like super offensive magic. It's more like
it's not like a crap ton of fireballs coming out everywhere.
Yeah, it's lighting a pine cone on fire and throwing it.
Not shooting fireballs out of his ass or anything. So
only fireworks.
And then they talked about Wrath and Rapture,
which is
hints at Slanesh
and Khorne, which part of me is, and I know it's a fool's hope, but I really hope it's like cool. And this is when they set up Fulgrim and Angron.
No Imperials.
It's not gonna happen.
I would also just love to have all 4 demon Primarchs.
Well,
I've just given up hope on there being any new Primarchs.
Well, it also sets up a new Keeper of Secrets.
Yes, which. Again, they're the only demon line that hasn't been updated, right? Now that Nurgle's got their big pop-up.
I really am shocked that they're not dropping that line completely. I thought that's the direction they were going.
No, I think
they're going to write it out.
No, I think they just trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah. Right.
Or how to approach it.
Make it less sex cult.
Yeah, it's what
I miss the sex cult.
In the beginning, that was always part of it, but it was never. It's been.
I mean, I do too. I just got too old for it. That's the problem.
You're never too old for a sex cult, man.
It's true.
Yikes.
In fact, as you get older, you're really only more engaged.
Has no rails. I told you that already.
I'll make sure to send this link to your students.
I'm lucky none of them are watching, I assume.
So that brings a question just in terms of tournament play. Let's say it's released. Obviously, we would allow people to play, depending on when it was released, we'd allow people to play with the smaller version at LVO.
Sure.
Do you think there should be a time period before? Like right now, if someone comes up to you with the small Lord of Change and says, hey, can I use this for the Lord of Change? I personally would say no.
New model, got to use it, period.
Immediately?
I've always been that way.
So if the model comes out outside of the cutoff period.
Because if there's a new model that came out with new rules, that means that the new rules were designed to be used with that model in mind. Right. So using a small one is modeling for advantage. You may not use it.
Okay.
I think the realpolitik is that you have to give people some lead time to get the models and to build them and paint them. But I would say if someone did come to LVO,
the world is not a classroom, John.
Buy it, build it, paint it.
If someone comes to LVO with the tiny little model, then I would say fine. Except I'd say these are the dimensions of the actual new model. So for line of sight purposes, etc., that's what you're using.
And then you got the problem with like the guys who don't put the wings on Magnus. And you're like, can you put the wings on Magnus?
But see, that's different. That's not building your model. Right, that's different than this is the model I built. It's complete. It's just 10 years old.
Just bring
and
a
it's
bunch
the
of
size
cylinders
of a
that are the
dreadnought.
correct size of the model and just move the cylinder around. So,
Now we're
That's
playing War
a
Machine.
concept, yeah, I was gonna say.
because they're like, well, I don't have the new model because it just came out. So here's this toilet paper roll.
With the new model with the old model put on, maybe.
Why? Like, why even require the model?
If
If you're going to allow them to just play with whatever, why require the model? Just like, okay, well, here's this cup and it's the right
Because it's
thing.
people-
And then I'm going to move my cup when I'm not supposed to be moving it when people think that they're not seeing it on the screen.
Well, I would say the one thing is you can't assume that when a new big model comes out that's 120, 150 bucks, people can just automatically get up and go buy that. And
Then you
paint
don't
that
get to
thing.
use it.
So you're saying someone who doesn't have a ton of disposable income at that moment doesn't deserve to play.
No,
with
you
what
can
they
play
want.
with you can play with what
With a
you
model
have.
they do own.
So but what's the difference in 3 months later? Well, 3 months goes by. Well, I still couldn't afford.
Well, that's a
$100
reasonable.
model.
Then you're starting to talk about reasonable
No,
assumption
you're still
of you
making
could pay
a judgment
for it.
about people's socioeconomic status.
You're making a reasonable allowance for them to find a way or
You're
get a
still making an
recast it.
assumption about people's status of being able to buy the model.
Or find someone to borrow it from.
Sure, find somebody who will buy it. Then pay somebody to paint it. Pay somebody who can paint it in a night. I can paint a model in a night. No problem.
I would give a grace period, but it'd be a short grace period.
One day.
You have 6 hours.
I just think that
How long will it take you to build it?
I build
That's how long you.
super
That's
fast.
how long you have.
Yeah.
I can build a Castellan in like an hour and a half.
So even let's say it comes out later this year, knowing because we're not the only ones that make these decisions, we would probably give a leeway this year.
Yeah, of course.
But for next year, definitely.
Yeah.
For that model, for the other ones, I would say you have to have those models for.
Yeah.
It's been at least a year.
It's been a while for the
If
at least
it's
for
been
the
out for a
Super
week,
Chicken.
you better have the model. In my opinion.
That's doable, but
If it's
it's
been
not
out for
gonna.
a
It's
full
not gonna
week,
happen.
I know that that's not going to be
Right.
what's standard.
So basically,
yeah.
what you're saying is to make sure you're not in charge.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm not going to be in charge.
Right. Well, no.
I thought
we'll
you were
make-
the head judge.
I am one of them.
Oh, but I clearly heard people refer to you as the head judge.
I cannot.
Capital
be
T,
accountable.
capital H, capital E.
I'm not accountable for what other people refer to me as.
Uh-huh.
Like, if I had it my way, the name Sultan John wouldn't have existed. I'm not accountable for the fact that name exists. I'm not accountable for people going
I'm
on the
pretty
podcast
sure that's-
referring to me as the head judge.
Still, I'm pretty sure getting you that name is my greatest achievement.
Whatever.
Not even.
Oh, maybe Butters. Maybe Butters. I think Butters might be actually for John. Maybe
Or
for
Tom.
Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom. I wish he was watching.
So,
I know he's not because he's not commenting.
someone is asking, Axis of Entropy is asking, 3 Demon Primarchs versus 3 to 4 Knights. Depends who goes first.
Yeah.
If the Knights go first, they win.
Yeah, and if it's Gallants.
Because-
it has to be Gallants.
Yeah.
If it's
a
if it's-
Castellan picks
if it's
one of them up
Castellan
easily.
double gallants, Castellan kills one the first turn.
Oh, yeah, easily.
If you deploy correctly and bubble wrap correctly, it kills another one the second turn. The gallants finish off the third.
Yeah.
It's not. If they go first and you deploy right, it's not even a contest. I don't.
Yeah, the problem with the Primarchs is that they don't have dominant shooting, so they can't really first turn do anything. Because
Yeah.
Magnus can pump out a lot of mortal wounds,
Mhm.
but they're smite, so guess what? Chumpy McChumperson takes it, not the Castellan.
Yeah.
Right,
It'd be
he
like
can-
that game I played with Travis,
Yeah.
where like Magnus didn't get off his super smites that first round,
Mhm.
and I was just kind of like, "What the fuck are you taking Magnus for?" And then the next turn he did, and like my Necrons just melted away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I get it now."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how that's supposed to work.
Magnus can't kill a Castellan in one round, so if they position poorly and he warp times himself into it, he's not going to do it.
No.
Right. Mortarion technically could, but that's an outlier.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have to spend the CP to give him more
Magnus
time
can
to
kill
send
the
for it.
Castellan in one turn, but it requires above average rolling.
If you combine the Psychic with
If you
the
combine
code.
Smite,
combine
with
Smite
Psychic,
with
yes.
the...
But again, that's assuming there's no chaff, there's no closer
Sure.
model, right?
It
Like
is
that.
assuming a lot. Well,
Yeah.
Carlos did it to me because I deployed very poorly.
Yeah. Well,
And then, but in terms of
depends what
Age-
Angron will bring to the table. Or
Age
Fulgrim.
for Age of Sigmar, the assumption is this is for Age of Sigmar.
Yes. I think they almost always do things
The-
Age of Sigmar
The
first.
way
now as a
the type
test.
is.
Yeah, the type
Yeah.
is
Type is Age of
and it
Sigmar.
says Realm of Chaos, so that's Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, it's AO.
I personally would probably pick it up because I do have the Forge World Keeper Secrets,
Yeah.
which is
It's
probably
slick
the same
model.
size.
Yeah.
I do have a bunch of demon. I have like 40 demonettes, and so I would just need to buy Fiends of Slanesh and the riders. I forget what they're called.
This, what is it?
And I have the army
Something
ready.
Seekers, right there.
Oh, Seekers of Slanesh, and then the army's ready,
Yeah.
more or less.
I'll get it because it has corn in it, so I'm sure I'll find a use.
There might be a bunch of new units y'all to buy too. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the lawnmowers.
The mushrooms of Slanesh. I mean, why not? It's Age of Sigmar. Have a bunch of like demoness jumping up and down on mushrooms, putting out like fungus, and you can get high and raped. That's what Slanesh does. So I mean, come on.
And Dark Eldar, although they toned that out of the
They
Dark
toned
Eldar
that out of the Dark
stuff,
Eldar too. Yeah.
Now it's just torture and gladiatorial fights and
Yes.
things like
Yeah,
that.
there's no more of the bondage nonsense.
Prisoners with jobs. Right?
Oh, that was the worst, man. Ugh.
All right,
18 and over. There we go.
I am glad that stuff's kind of getting written out because it was definitely off-putting to parents
Yeah.
of people who were like,
When you
"Hey,"
go in the store.
and we got to get the game has to start to be played by younger people, otherwise it's going to die.
Yes.
So for anybody
And
who's
also-
like, this isn't for kids. Well, when did you start playing? First of all,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
second of all, it needs to be, otherwise it will literally die.
I was like 11, so
Yeah, I was
I
about.
was like 12 or 11.
I was
Yeah.
okay. It was probably around the same time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I was probably in high school.
And my first army was definitely not anything Slaneshi or Dark Eldar.
right.
So
Mine. Well, I played Epic, so.
Yeah.
And then Middle Earth is coming out.
Okay. Moving on.
I probably will have an army. So I'm gonna say about that. Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
You know, the first game
I like the
they
aesthetic.
did was good.
Yeah.
The
first
skirmish.
one,
The
yeah.
first
The
Lord of the
skirmish?
Rings game was good.
The
Yeah,
skirmish.
skirmish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
And
combination.
those models were cool too,
Yeah.
and they were not expensive.
No.
That game was
Now
legit.
it's 40 for 24 models.
That's, I mean, that's
It's not terrible.
No.
It's not as good as it was.
No, and it's actually I think that's the same molds.
Probably, I imagine it is.
They
There's
are.
A lot
nothing
of
wrong
it
with
is,
those
yeah.
molds, and I'm sure those molds are not that deteriorated.
No.
And they were cool models. I don't.
They were. I
Sure,
mean, I
they
liked
were-
it. The Balrog was awesome. The big
Yes,
plastic Balrog
Balrog
was
was
freaking
great.
Just awesome, man.
I remember using one for a demon bloodthirster.
Yeah, yeah. That's what everybody did until the new Bloodthirster came
Yeah,
out.
because the old bloodthirster, the metal one was terrible.
Yeah. And then there's Blackstone Fortress. Forget that.
Blackstone Fortress. It's basically Hero Quest.
It's
for-
Warhammer Quest.
Warhammer Quest for 40K.
40K.
So
it's
like
chaos. It's gonna be a bunch of Chaos Marines on a Blackstone Fortress.
yes, because if you remember, the
Fighting
Blackstone
Necrons.
Fortress was the ones that Abaddon was
Fighting the
able-
Necrons or fighting the Space
No,
Wolves
they
that
were-
got stuck on the Blackstone Fortress.
They're probably gonna fight
The Imperial
whatever
guys that
Imperial.
boarded
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch. The storyline went that a bunch of Imperials boarded the Blackstone Fortress.
Right with
Right,
the
yeah.
Space Wolves.
Yeah, there's a Space Wolf Great Company, a bunch of Cadians.
So the rumor is, or they're saying, I think it's new Chaos sculpts, but they didn't say when it's
New
released.
Abaddon.
That's one of the
That'd be
rumors.
awesome. He's such a tiny, stupid.
He's probably going to be as big as
He
Gilliman
looks
at this point.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he should. I mean,
He's easy to hide.
If
He's easy to hide.
If he's really is a clone of Horus, he should be Gilman sized.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe a little
But in the
small. If he
books,
was.
in the Horus Heresy books, the novels, he's not quite as big as Horus.
No.
Right.
He looks just like him.
right.
Yeah, a bunch
But
of
he's
a
not.
bunch of
He's
them.
A bunch
do,
of
yeah.
them look
He's
alike.
mini Horus.
Yeah.
The whole Mournival really looks just like him, except for Loken.
Loken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a traitor.
He's not a traitor. Loken's the only good one.
He's a traitor.
Traitor.
I mean, I like the character.
What do you mean? He's
but
got that big Imperial Aquila on his chest now. He's got the
Yeah,
whole
he's a
like,
traitor.
market. This is like
He's a traitor.
you guys.
Yeah.
You people are terrible. I don't know why I hang out with you people.
So you don't have anyone else?
It's not true.
He paused just for everyone to catch you on camera.
Pause.
Facebook doesn't count. In addition, they mentioned new requirements for event support.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
That is
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
I like. Well, I mean, they had to do that because they can't support everything. Because
Yeah, there's so
much.
many there's just so many events now that they can't be everywhere.
That's a decent point. Axis should be brought up because he's being swelled with chaos powers. He could be as big as the Demon Prince,
Right.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is almost as large as Gilman.
Yeah,
So that'd be yeah. I guess
I saw a picture where they basically blew up the picture of Abaddon, so it's about the same size as Gilliman, and
yeah.
it looks fine. They even more or less have almost the same weaponry if you look at it.
Yeah.
They both have a sword. They
What are
both
you trying
have
to say?
They both have a hand with a gun. It's all,
The cat is ready.
I'm just saying.
The cat is ready. That's what we're
I'm
saying.
just saying.
That'd be so great if it came out and like literally just some of the armor was changed. It goes the same, but instead of being on fire, the sword's got a bunch of spikes, and the gauntlet instead of being a fist has got a bunch of claws and it's open.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's the same sculpt with the same like pose and just.
But look at the pictures. I'll have to find the picture, but it's a picture of they're standing right there, and then I looked and I was like, well, they both have a sword.
Yeah.
And they both have a
And they
gauntlet.
changed a little like terrain on the.
Yeah, they changed the base of the terrain base.
So it's got a bunch of chaos stars instead of like
Yeah.
a bunch of like kilos or whatever.
Yeah, so
amazing.
Are you listening right now? This is a great idea.
yes,
I hope somebody from GW.
they're furiously
They
scribbling.
I think every time we say something negative, someone in Nottingham just like, nope.
Whatever. I mean, I ain't nobody's patsy.
So they listed. One is listed. One is I think supported, and then the seal approval.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
And they have.
I like that they're going to support things. I like that they're getting involved. I like that they're staying hands off with their involvement.
Yes.
Like it's still your event, you still run it, but if you reach a certain level, cool, we're going to help you out.
Although the question is what they're going to do with the GTs they've talked about coming back. The official GW tournament.
It'll be cool. It'll be their official things. If you want to play, kind of like I do,
it will be
with like the actual models.
It'll be just like it was probably.
Yeah, I know.
Or like it is now in the UK.
Yeah. It will be difficult to require all the armies to be painted the proper way. So like all your high fleets got to be painted this way. Your whatever.
Well,
I'm not saying it's going to be difficult like to say it. They're going to say it and they're going to do it. But it's going to be difficult for players to be like, okay,
I need to repaint my.
Well, remember I don't know how big are they going to make the events? They're not going to make them like LVO Nova size.
They won't be, no.
They'll be small, 125,
small
150 at most.
Yeah.
There'll be smaller point games too, I bet.
Probably 7.
If it's 1,500 points, I could see that working fine because like I would be like, okay, if there's gonna be one somewhere on the West Coast or like in LA,
there should be an LA.
I'll build you a 15.
mean
there
Ontario.
should be one in LA.
You mean Ontario?
Yes,
Whatever. There should be one here because this is a huge market. We have a lot of people to play here. But if they did it 1,500 points, and it has to be totally WYSIWYG and painted properly,
Yeah.
I'd do it. I would do 1,500 points.
Well,
I'd buy a 1,500 point army.
I do it
paint
now.
The exact chapter and whatever.
Yeah.
Not everybody's like you, okay, Mr. Snowflake.
I'm just
You
saying.
do that with knights. Castell and Armingers go.
Yeah, I know, right?
But they're not a proper house. Oh no, because it can be different colors and use the house rules.
Yes.
Right.
You just can't be. My salamanders are ultramarines.
Yeah, you just can't
Right.
do that. So
You can be a
it's not that
successor
big.
chapter.
Of a, the only issue would
But
be
you can't have the named characters for those.
right.
ones.
The only issue would be the third party stuff.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Or the proc. I don't even know if they would allow proxies
No,
or
probably.
count
It's
as.
going to be their thing, and they're going to literally look at you and be like, "Too bad."
They might do. They might let you do counts as if it's everything's GW models and you're just kind
Okay.
of right. Like they probably be like, okay, that's
I'd be
fine.
surprised if they did that, honestly.
But and you have to remember they're looking more towards the all around gamer, not just best general.
Yeah.
Right.
So like hobby, you know.
Yeah,
all
so
that.
you're
to them, that would be
bringing
more-
back hobby and sportsmanship score. So now I get to chipmunk people again. Yes.
So we all have to roll deep so we can.
So we definitely want to bring Darian with us
Yes.
We want to bring.
We want to bring Darian and Alan so they
Yes.
can argue.
and chipmunk each other.
Yes.
Now we have to bring as many as we
No.
can so we can guarantee that we're chipmunking everyone
Everybody
not on our
else,
team.
but not
We
us.
have to bring Darian and Sergio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's who it was.
Yes.
Sergio, Chipmunk, Darian, then had to drive home with him.
Yes. No, I think Darian drove separately because of it.
Oh, okay.
But Sergio chipmunked him. And for those that don't know, chipmunking someone is back when you had to put scores for sportsmanship,
Composition.
things like that. You would give them a score of 1 to 4 or whatever, and 4 was the best, 0 or 1 was the worst. And we had a tournament where both of our friends played each other. One of our friends beat Darian, who we're talking about. And Darian, he basically gave Darian a 1 or a 2 because he said even though he beat Darian, he didn't have fun. The concept of chipmunking though, and they were each other. He was Darian's ride down to San Diego. The point of chipmunking though is when you lose, you mark someone a 0 or 1 because you lost, and you don't want them to win the event.
Yeah.
Because usually, if you didn't score max on either one, you weren't winning the event.
Yeah. You needed to win your games like hard, and you needed to get max Max Sports and Max Comp if you could, or at least close to it.
So if GW brings that back, guess what's coming back?
Yep. It's also really funny because the whole reason there are teams in 40K, right, like Team Zero Comp, and now even us, is it was originally designed as a way to game that system because you bring 8 of your friends
that being used against you
to a 30-man RTT. You're pretty much guaranteeing that everybody else is getting chipmunked on their scores, while you, when you do run into your own team, are boosting your score up.
Or you can do like Darian did and campaign that everyone gives the same score.
Yeah.
So it does. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
It just averages out.
That was the thing too. A lot of people would show up and they literally talk to everybody in the tournament. Okay, so you're going to give 6s.
Yeah. And then they would be upset when Alan was there.
Yeah.
Because Alan scores how it should be.
Yes. It wasn't the best game of my life.
I did too.
I did too. Because if you read them, they used to say like best game ever, things like that. And I'm like, okay, you're a good guy, but it wasn't my best game.
I don't want you to move in my garage so we can play all the time. So
yeah, exactly.
4.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was 0-2-4-6.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Because of GW. So we'll see. We'll see. It's probably going to be for next year, and we'll see what the packets look like. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to the packets in the UK.
I mean, if there's one in LA,
I'm going.
Yeah, why not?
So
I'll go. I'll bring my Tyranids and just play like a single high fleet because they're all painted one color scheme.
I mean, yeah, if next year's still gonna do it, or hell, if it's low enough points, I'm just Space Marines, whatever.
Yeah.
And low enough points, I'll just bring something random.
So it's been a busy weekend. Got back. I finally bought my Titanicus. So hopefully I'll have that ready soon.
Yeah,
hopefully. So we can play. You guys gonna come here and play and we'll stream it?
We can.
Yes, we can.
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe we get one game.
Can you play on this table? What's the size of the thing?
4x4 is recommended.
So we'll have to get a 4x4 sheet.
But that's for like a full game. That's like a full game though. So if we just do like the starter box game of 1 Warlord versus 3 Knights, more than enough space on the table.
Okay.
So we got that. Danny is enjoying Kill Team.
Yes, very much so. It's a good system. If nothing else, because
is that what you've been playing with Scott?
Yeah,
cool.
And I played it. I got a couple games at like the Games Workshop near me in Winnetka, so that was fun just to like see other armies and. It's nice because when both players really know the rules really well and, you're kind of settled in, like games can take 15 minutes.
Nice.
Like I had one game that literally took 15 minutes because the other guy knew his army really well and was like, okay, I do this.
And when you curb stomped each other, is that what happened?
No, it was actually, it was a pretty close game.
Because, some of my night games can last like 10 minutes.
Well, yeah. I don't know, I really enjoy Kill Team because things that suck in 40K are actually good. So it gives me a
Grey Knights are good?
I heard Primaris Marines are actually good.
Yeah, Primaris are good. 2 wounds really matters in the game. Like, that's why Tyranid Warriors and Lictors are fucking amazing.
So you're saying I shouldn't have sold my Grey Knights? I should have kept my Grey Knights?
No.
Okay, good. Good choice. Good choice.
So Kill Team's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to Rogue Trader when that comes out with, just to see what the...
Yeah, I'm not... you know what? Okay, we'll talk about Rogue Trader since you brought that up.
Okay.
Because there's an interesting thing. They have the mini dexes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the mini dexes, you have to buy... They fill a detachment slot.
Yes.
Okay.
So do you think we're seeing something similar to, like, formations?
Yes, Adrian brought this up in chat. And
I hope not.
This sounds like
back.
formations.
I hope
Yeah.
They have special detachments.
Yes.
Don't do this, Duz. Why you gotta do this, Duz?
Yeah, my first reaction was,
Did you not learn
from 7th?
From 7th edition and every table having 3 Riptides?
Well, that was, Tau can't ally with anybody anymore, so
yeah,
that's at least fine.
That's... Well, okay, but would you... I mean...
And you could already just do 3 gallons.
Yeah.
Just everybody stop.
So what...
Pump the brakes, full stop, turn course, good.
I mean, but it is even worth... I haven't really looked at the rules for the Imperial side, but I mean, I don't even know if it's worth...
I haven't looked at it.
Using a detachment slot.
For their chump, at least the unit they showed, the chump unit, no.
That's the unit, though. That's what you get.
You also get the
you get
special
all the special characters.
So if like the Rogue Trader itself is like really good, maybe it's worth it. But yeah, like the squad of like 5 guys with there's like there's 5 veterans
and a dog.
The dog's cool.
Whatever.
Oxyminion.
I'm not gonna play it, so I don't care.
What if you see it on the tabletop? What if they're
They'll
really
just
good?
fucking die.
You're not gonna, they're just gonna die.
They're-
I mean, the Nurgle half is probably more useful.
Probably.
Probably.
But even
Nurgle.
that's just really boggles my mind with the Nurgle part of that. They're their own special attachment.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just call them Nurgle demons to throw them in. Like come on.
Because they have to put the formations back.
No.
Yeah.
No.
My drop pods are ready and waiting
Nope.
No. That's
for
not
their
gonna-
freedom.
They're ready and waiting for 9th or 10th.
Next chapter.
I'm excited to
proof.
play Battlefleet Gothic 2, the video game, when it comes out.
Yes.
That looks cool.
I'm sad
Battlefleet Gothic 2 looks great.
because I was hoping for Battlefield Gothic.
The game,
The
like the,
game.
tabletop
Miniature
game.
But you know what I'm afraid of now that I've seen Epic or
Yeah.
Titanicus is that it's probably going to be the same price point
Yeah.
or similar.
I don't know. if
It's
I
going to be
can-
more of a boutique or
Yeah.
boutique
advanced game.
Don't really care about that.
And
at all.
that probably
Just like
would
in
be-
Titanicus doesn't spark my interest either. It's like, whatever. It's fine.
No, see, the problem is of the formation is like 100 points, which is fine, but it takes up a detachment slot.
Yeah, that's
And
there.
in match play, you only get 3.
Yeah.
So
And
So
it better be really cool.
Yeah, and give you.
So are you going to give up your, like for me, would I give up my, what am I going to give up? The Blood Angel or the
Ash Militarum CP
Ashen
battery.
Military CP battery?
Well, yeah, just give up the Knights and then just fill up.
Sure.
whatever.
Just let's be fine.
Yeah, you're totally fine. So, yeah, whatever.
No, so with all that, with all the knights, we talked earlier about the big FAQ
We'll see when that
coming
shows
up.
up.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming it'll be before the month is out because there weren't any big. I didn't get the feeling of the big,
It'll hit when it hits.
like oh my gosh moment,
Right.
like from Adepticon.
Yeah.
that
they-
was only because it was Adepticon's missions and terrain.
But what but they did have like a notebook that they keep track of all the questions that were being
Yeah,
asked, things
right.
like that.
That's good.
That's
They
good.
should do that. That's awesome. I like that they're involved that way.
I'm pretty sure they're aware of the CP battery issue and the 3++.
You can't not be. The internet
issue.
rage is real.
Yeah.
They've
Well, it's
seen.
just you can't just not look at the tables and be like, everyone who runs Imperium seems to have Asher Militarum.
A minimum battalion.
Yeah.
Or a brigade, like, people.
Hey, what is this, what's your warlord? Oh, what's your warlord trait? Oh,
Yeah.
what relic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. You don't even need to ask.
No.
You just ask, do you have anything different?
Yeah, I know, right? So is it CP farm or CP farm plus?
Yeah.
The additional Blood Angel CP farm. Oh, you got all the CP farms. Good for you.
So do you have anything, I mean, other than usually, well, they did have points adjustments in the last big FAQ, but only for a couple of units.
I'd be surprised if we saw that.
I think they're waiting
Really?
wait for chapter.
Yeah, I
approved.
think they'll wait. And I don't think anything needs a big point adjustment. Like,
You just think CP farm
You know,
or
Necrons.
okay, but Necrons need. But yeah, see, Necrons need a big one.
Right.
That's gonna be in chapter approved.
Yeah.
Because Necrons need a huge drop in points in terms of like across the board.
Right. Yeah.
There's like not I can't think of a single unit in that codex that doesn't need some type of help either in terms of points or like some new
Make them
stratagems
useful.
or something.
but they're not going to do that. We haven't seen
They
them.
won't do that in chapter.
We haven't seen them change or add or subtract or
Stratagems.
even change the cost of stratagems.
Right. But they might change the cost of the units. Like if warriors
Yes.
went down 2 points,
It went down to 9 or 10. Yeah.
it'd be great. They totally overvalued
Reanimation.
back or reanimation. What do they call it now?
Get with the times.
Come on, John. There's no
All you-
phase out
all you
anymore.
Young people, and you're not knowing the old stuff, the good times.
Phase out.
3
Phase
monoliths,
out.
and you had to phase me out when.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
No, any other predictions for a big FAQ? Just
God.
what do you think? What would
I
you
don't think
see?
there's any predicting it. I think they're either going to fix the CP farm in the FAQ or they're going to wait to chapter approved.
Oh,
Like I can't think of anything else.
I think they'll fix the CP battery.
Yeah.
And I don't think they do any points adjustments. I can't think of any unit
You
that
know,
needs them in terms of like major
They'll
needs.
do
other
it
than
either to
Necrons.
the Gallant or the. I can see them
Castellan.
doing it to the
If
Castellan.
they fix the CP farm, it doesn't need it. Because if you're not getting all those stratagems back, the things you use on those are expensive. Rotate ion shields on the Castellan is 3 CPs.
Yeah.
Right, but
House Raven's 2. The special missile one is 2. Like you're gonna burn those super quick.
yeah, but I still think they're going to do it because look what they did to Deep Strike.
If the fix they do to the CP is you only get it back on your own stratagems,
That
then there's
switches.
literally no reason to fix the Castellan because
and no reason to take
You're going to
guard.
run out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be no reason to take
Well, the only reason would be to get CPs.
Right.
Right.
Because
You still get a nice. You still get a brigade.
The Knights
Yeah.
have a Warlord trait that gives them a
CP back.
a CP back on a 5+.
Right. But then you're not getting your 4++ symbols
No, you're going to have to pay the 3 to get.
to get more.
The other two.
Right. So you're going to be eating CPs that you're not rolling to get back.
Right.
If they take their time and they really think it through, and they stop shaking your head.
I'm saying they're not.
if they really take their time and think it through, and they apply the CP restriction instead of being like you only regen on a 6 ever, and they apply it to you only regen when you're your own stratagem from your own faction, your own
Right.
detachment.
Yeah.
Then it'll be fine. You don't need to point adjust anything. If they don't do that, then they'll have to point adjust things.
They might do something with, speaking of stratagems, of clarifying what unlocks stratagems, what you need to have to use stratagems, etc.
I just wish they never answered no for the Chaos Space Marine Death Guard
Right.
question, because that's where all that stems from.
Yeah, I know.
If they should have just said Death Guard is Death Guard, Chaos Space Marine is Chaos Space Marine.
Yes.
They did it with GC Colton.
I know.
Tyr did.
They're like, you.
It should be that way. It should be.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
should also be that you need you need a patrol at minimum, right? To say you unlock a series of stratagems, or that your detachment has to be pure. It has to share all
Yeah.
share
Yeah.
the keywords.
There's definitely things that they could change to make it better. Although it's kind of like nitpicking at this point because the game is so much better as a whole.
No, I mean the game's great. This is
Right.
all just really kind
but
of.
if you don't want to see, if you still want to see variety at almost every tournament,
Yeah.
I can see orcs really shaking up that meta because if it is a legit horde that works,
Well,
I mean,
the
the,
key
ba-
thing
the
about,
BA Astra Militarum Knight list now is not very good.
well, the thing is about orcs is all they really need to do is, I mean, again, index orcs can mostly do this now to screw knights. It's just horde of bodies with hidden power fists,
Yes.
right? Like then it's just
Yeah.
knights all of a sudden are like, oh shit, right? Because
they've
you
always
can
been able to
stomp
do
and
that.
kill 15,
But the power
but
fist
the
is still
power
there.
fist is still there. That's bad,
Yeah, it's true.
right? I mean, because
Yeah.
now it's like you can't move away. You gotta get them. There's just this,
so they could not even make any changes. I don't know if they'll do this because this involves foresight. They can almost make no changes or very little changes and see how the orc codex
changes
affects the meta, or if it does.
That's
Then
true.
they can make those changes on chapter approved.
They
but,
could, yeah.
but by that time, the chapter approved may already be off to the printers.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
that's true.
It's got to go to the printer soon for the usual turnaround time. Right? It
So
takes
either
about
they make
5
the change
weeks.
now and it readjust maybe in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could. That's a risk, and they don't really take risks. I feel like so. Let's see.
Yeah.
Or like Axis of Entropy saying they do both. Get rid of the CP battery and up the cost of the Castellan.
just to say F you.
Well-
I don't know. I don't know if they've sold enough yet. They might have to check their ledgers.
No, they'll change. They'll change the Castellan because they need to sell the Valiants.
Valiant, that's right. Yeah.
Because the
They'll
Valiants
make the
are.
Valiant better. They'll increase the range of the harpoon gun and then have it do some other crazy crap and like an aura around what you hit.
It'll be something weird.
Yeah, but see the thing is like the orc, the humble orc boy, right?
They put out a lot of attacks.
Yeah, they've got what is that? 3 attacks on the.
And
Nope, they
whatever.
have 4. If there's more than 20 of them, they have 4 attacks each.
Nice.
Hitting on 3s, wounding on against knights 6s.
Yeah.
But then you've still got the power claw in there,
Yeah.
right? I mean that's just. Again, I've been saying index orcs are great in the knight meta just because you can bring 160 freaking boys.
Yeah. And then you slow play for the win. There you go. Done.
Well, yeah, you could always do that.
That's
With
cheating.
orcs, you can't. It's hard to do with knights.
Yes, you can slow
I'm
play.
just-
Well, no, you could try to slow play with knights. I'd applaud
John,
you if you. pulled
I'm
it
just
off.
trying to play the game, and if it takes 4 hours to play my game, and only get to turn 2, I can't help that.
You can't.
How is that my
Play
problem?
faster, use the clock. When you run
I
out
can't
of your,
u- I can't
when you
u-
run out of your hour and 15
I
minutes.
can't use
you
the
lose.
clock. That's not fair to me
Oh my
because
God.
I'm a horde army.
I can't deal with the snowflake tonight. Where did you become this way?
I'm just going with what the internet tells me.
Yeah,
This is the best way to live your life.
Through the internet. That's the only way I can live.
The internet tells us
the only way I can
that,
live right
like,
now.
Lizard people ran everything.
They do,
And the Earth was flat.
don't they?
I thought we were on a turtle.
Sure, whatever.
That-
Alex Jones was permanently banned from Twitter, so I'm happy.
Oh my God.
It's still one of my favorite gifts to use. Him and his tinfoil hat.
I've seen that. Yes.
I like that one.
God. Thoughts on the Space Wolf Codex? You've had a chance to look at it, right, John?
Yeah, it's a Marine. It's what my initial impression was.
It's a Marine Codex?
It's a Marine Codex.
Aw.
It's a Marine Codex that doesn't have a Primarch, and the Marines are still too expensive and don't do enough. So.
Well, we have a tournament this Saturday, so I need a room priest so he can stand next to my Castellan.
I mean, that is like the only good thing in it.
Until it gets FAQ.
Until it gets FAQ'd,
the only space
which is the slight window I have this weekend because.
But really, I mean, yeah. Oh, I guess anything outflanking you can shoot at too, then, huh?
Yeah.
I was thinking what drops in from reserves, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Pawn Angel's Wings or whatever doesn't count.
It might because if it can do
It
aspects.
doesn't count for the turn 1 restriction, so why would it count for that?
I have to look at the stratagem.
Yeah.
And I think it's only 1 CP, maybe 2. I don't know.
The intercept.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 1 CP.
Oh my God.
But you're gonna get back on 5 or 6, right?
That's right. I'll just throw him with my blood. I'll sacrifice a Smash Captain for that.
I saw an academic exercise,
Oh God.
which was if I fail my CP reroll, or my roll to get a CP back,
All right.
can I burn a CP to reroll it?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, it's
but,
yes.
But my response wasn't yes. My response was like, why?
I know.
Because you're losing a CP.
Now you're still losing. Yeah.
And
The
like,
result-
I just want to know if that would be legal.
Is it who I think it is?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is it what I think it is? No. Okay.
No. It was interesting.
I'm sometimes glad you're the most well-known 40K judge in the world.
So I get to do all the nonsense?
Yes, I'm just the most liked. And Danny's most hidden.
No, I guess.
Sure, whatever.
I don't know.
Um,
The most courteous one, subjected to torment.
I'm the one that gets called for when they don't like whatever the current judge is doing.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Or when they want, like, the official ruling. That was the best part.
No.
That's all. They're asking for you, and I'm like, what?
I want it from John.
You're standing at the table.
Yeah.
That's because they know. There was a few instances of that at one of the tables next to me.
Yes, Chris is right. You can re-roll it, get a 5, get it back, and roll to see if you get the re-roll CP back.
God.
Yes. There is a situation in which, yes. Yes. But that's... dumb.
Yeah. There's a lot of
It
hoops
was
to
dumb.
go through.
It was dumb. Yeah. It's very academic.
Yeah, there was a couple instances at the tournament where there was multiple judges called for a second opinion. So one of them was for me, but it was fine. I didn't care.
You called for the judge? And
I didn't
asked for
call.
a
I
second
never
opinion?
called for a judge once.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
no,
did
no.
I? Maybe once.
I counted for like the most judge calls at Barry Open.
Of course you did.
Why am I not shocked?
Frankie's like, how are you most of the judge calls? I was like, because I don't want to throw my weight around. I'm going to be like, listen, I'm one of the head judges for this.
Oh, look, he said his first step.
I caught myself, okay? Because I don't want to be like, listen, dude, this is how it is. I know this is how it is because I'm one of the head judges for the LVO. Like, nobody likes that guy.
When
I don't want to be that guy.
But you clearly want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy at the tabletop who's like playing my game and being like, okay, listen, this is how it is. I'm not calling for a judge because of this. Like, that's just not.
Yeah, there was when my opponent was asking for judges. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I didn't care. And then the table next to me, they were having a slight rules disagreement before the game even started. During deployment.
Oh god.
And they had
I've
called,
had that game
and I'm
before.
standing next to them, and I know the answer, but I just let them go to the judge and do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sometimes it's hard where you're like you want to tell them, but at the same time you don't.
Should have told him.
Nah, it was pretty. It was
Should've
getting.
told him, and then when they called for the other judge, anyways, because you're not a judge, and the judge showed up, you can turn and go, see,
Exactly. Fucking told you, okay? Why did you doubt me?
It was pretty intense.
Really?
I told you.
Yeah, because I had to walk. When I walked
believe
away for something, I had to tell the judges that they're still bickering and they just keep an eye on it
They're still
Did it
picturing
turn to a
after getting a
fight?
judge?
about different stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was like
just sour grapes at that point?
I don't know what it was. It was just they obviously they were probably had both won.
Right. Or there's history.
No, there wasn't. They never played each
okay.
other or anything but they were they probably both won. So up to that point,
So it was.
this is
intense.
the last game on Saturday.
That makes sense. It gets that way.
So
It definitely gets that way.
mid tables are the worst.
Yes. Land of the tryhard.
You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Because I mean,
Even
they give
the top tables is intense, man.
it is, but it's not. In most cases, it's not as troublesome as the mid tables usually.
It's not troublesome in terms of like judging. It's intense in terms of the game, the players themselves.
Yes.
Because when you get to that top, the players almost take care of themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Unless you get the guy cheating.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Or you could just get the situation where they clearly where there actually is an ambiguity in the rule, and they
Yes.
need it to go one way or the other.
Right.
So they
Right. So they lobby hard for it.
yeah.
But for the most part, those games are intense in terms of the players themselves
Yeah.
are intense. Not like, oh, I had to go over and this intense game is intense. Like, even judging those games where they're like super into it and intense, it's kind of easy to judge because it's not your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the most time, like they don't even want you to chime in. They're just like, we're playing it the way we've established we're playing it. Here we
Right.
go. We know
Sure.
what we're doing.
Just don't ask for my opinion on it later.
Yeah. I think whenever I judge the top LVO, I think 9 out of 10 times I'm called into there. It's, hey, can you check a measurement or can you
Yes,
give
it's
us
usually
LOS?
Yeah,
right?
there was-
Like, just
there
a
was
neutral
that.
arbiter, nothing else.
And then I walk over to the table and I tell people they have to reassemble their models. We're not going in a step further until you put that model back together.
So not impressed by Space Wolves.
I'm not. I mean, I want to. I love Space Wolves. If you've been a long time listener to this show, or you followed the Capture and Control blog when that was a thing, or you knew me on DACA, then you know that I love Space Wolves. Absolutely. I mean, I love them so much I've done the Army, I think, 3 times now.
Yeah.
But
I know, right?
but I
Stupid.
can't.
Dub love.
I know.
I can't. And I'm
can't
super
quit you.
disappointed because every time they've come out, they've always been good when they come out.
Oh, and this
Always
is
been good. This is the first codex they've come out where you're like, oh, okay.
it would be a struggle. There's probably going to be only a few builds that actually work.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure that exists. Like Wolfen and Thunderwolf Cavalry are the ones everybody point to, and they're just not point wise. It's not there.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
The Fenrisian wolves die too easy.
Yeah.
There's no way to buff them. It's not like 7th where you
Okay.
can give them all kinds of buffs.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, so it's, it's
Whatever.
just not
I
there.
need to get a room priest. That's all I know.
I'm
For
sure
a
John
month.
has one somewhere.
I don't actually.
Sold them all.
I did. That's what I do. That's how I roll.
Any future plans? Or you gonna stick with the Knights, John?
For now,
For
because
now.
I entered my off season.
Oh, that's right. John did.
So now he can play whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because he's not ever going to play.
Well, I'll play on league nights on Tuesdays, but
Yeah.
until December.
But does
I
anything
won't have
anything you
tournaments.
think might catch your eye, or just play Knights until they're nerfed, or?
We'll see what the FAQ does. If a nerf comes down,
If it doesn't
it's
come down
hard,
then, it's probably going to come down at the
yeah.
chapter
then, like,
approved.
I start playing again in December, but then January's LVO.
Yeah,
which
we
I'm
don't-
judging.
yeah.
So like I'm not playing again
Till,
really
like,
until
February.
next IT season.
Yeah, end of
Yeah.
end of February, because next year LVO is at the beginning of February.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
effectively will not play again until next ITC season, and because now I'm a ref for the team
For soccer.
for soccer. There's that makes it so SoCal's like definitely no go.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to be there for the games. That was what I was trying to avoid by being like, I'm not going to coach,
Right.
but then I got roped into reffing. So
When I got roped in, I
just let your kid play soccer.
he loves soccer.
when
bad.
when I got
Not
roped
my parents.
when I got when I got
Can't be though, John.
when I got
I
roped
don't
in.
want to be Danny.
When I got roped in, I told my team I'm not going to be here last weekend of October, so
That's
I had to
fine.
get an assistant
I probably
coach to
could
take
do
over.
that. We'll see. We'll see. Natalie owes me after being gone all week.
With the kids.
She's, till Saturday still.
Your daughter doesn't play, right?
No, she's doing tap.
Okay.
So that starts Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so her first one's on Friday, which Natalie's not here for. She's like, I'm gonna miss it, and I'm like, yeah, I have to go to it.
Everybody loses, okay?
Yeah, everybody's losing on this one, okay? I mean, I don't mind. I'm a theater person, so I like theater. I like tap dance. I never learned to do it because I can't dance, but like, it'll be cool to watch her do that. But like, I don't.
It won't be cool.
My daughter took tap for a couple years, and it was just okay. It's cool.
She's got these cute little tap shoes. Which
Yeah.
is cool. But like, I want to see your recital.
No.
I want Natalie to take you to the lessons. Nat can take her to the lessons, then I'll go watch the recital.
There you go.
It'd be great.
Danny, what are yours? It doesn't have to be just whatever. You're doing Adeptus to Titanicus.
Yeah, and
Kill Team.
And then
Anything
I'll
else?
probably just focus on getting reps in with the Bash Brothers and my Chaos list and having fun with that. And then after chapter approved, I'll see about going back to Tyranids. Or if, World Eaters come out, then I'm all fucking in.
Right.
Like, and that's
Of course,
just,
You got
You've
the
already
models.
got them, and
Yeah.
Angron will be
Got the
awesome
models.
as Angron came out.
yeah, and then I'll just do the Bash triplets and
Nice.
and see how the fuck that goes.
I might try to work on the Necrons in case they do get some love in chapter approved because I didn't sell them. I still got those. They're sitting in Tupperware.
That's a good back pocket of just like.
I get rid of
maybe-
most of mine.
Yeah. I have the
Yeah.
40 Fenrisian Wolves and Canis that I ordered. So
Okay.
I do have the beginnings of that, but
Yeah. You're in your off season, you don't have to care.
yeah, going back to Tyranids would be cool if chapter approved gives them love.
Yeah, even if they don't, I've had enough time, and because I'm finally have the time at work now where I can steal away and do writing. Where I've been doing my usual deep dive into the Tyranid Codex. So for those who read Frontline Gaming, my Tyranid articles will be coming back pretty soon here. And like there's some weird with the new meta. There's some weird list builds that I've been playing with that I actually want to try out.
Cool.
Right? Like. Because I know the guy at Nova did the three squads of Zonethropes to do the Psychic Barrage.
That was Nick Rose.
And I think that actually
Yeah.
has some legs in a list that complements it. I may, I was playing around doing CP Battery with GSC, but that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
But I actually am interested about using GSC for, especially depending when their codex comes out, of if they make any tweaks to Cult Ambush. Because I might not do Kraken Gene Stealers and use GSC Gene Stealers instead. That way
That's what I think that's what he used.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, because I think it's more expensive, but then I don't have to be Leviathan or not Kraken to be able to rocket my shit across the across the table. And then I could go like back to Kronos and have some more dominant shooting with the Hive Guard who get the reroll to ones and. The Zonethropes for a crap ton of mortal wounds.
Hive Guard are good. I don't know what fixes the Tyranid Codex though.
We don't have a reliable way to kill knights at range.
Right.
And our best melee threats against knights don't have good ways to get there.
Correct. Makes sense.
The best is actually the Haru Specs, who's amazing, and he's only 198 points, but he's fucking weapon skill 4.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like he's gonna hit twice. He's gonna wound both times, so you spend the CP for the rerolls, and then you're probably not gonna save any of the hits. And then it's like cool, 2d6 damage, and then I fucking die because I have no invul save.
Yeah.
And
You
then
hit
I
twice,
just go-
you wound twice, you roll your 2d6 damage for each one, and roll like double ones.
No,
double
it's
twos.
just not average. It's like you do 7 wounds. Cool.
Right.
I did 7 wounds.
Out of
That's
my 28.
great. Yeah.
So my Stone's still 21.
So and Stone Crushers are amazing at ripping apart knights, and they're only 100 points if you
But you
build
gotta
them
get 'em
correctly. You gotta get them there, which means you need
Make it
Swarm
through
Lord.
my Volcano Lance and Plasma Decimator 2 turns.
Yeah, you need a Swarm Lord, right? And they're not. I mean, you literally would need to clear the chaff, which you can do. That's not hard, but clear the chaff. You have to be Kraken. Advance the stupid Carnifex. Get Onslaught to go off on them so they can charge. Then opportunistic advance to get them to double their advance, and then Swarm Lord them the fuck forward, and then you're going like 40 inches down the table, right? If it's Dawn of War, you're hit. But even then, it's like one's still not going to kill the Castellan.
Nope.
It's going to take a piece out of them.
Yeah, a big
But then
one.
it's like,
But then I spend my 1 CP to fight it full.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, I've got to do that again, assuming Swarm Lord's alive.
That's
and
the thing that a lot of people also forget about the Castellan all the time, which is for 1 CP, it fights it full.
Yeah.
Because you're going to play it as Raven unless you're Adam.
I'm not the only one. Fennel went Tyrannus, and he went to
that's
the
'cause he's
That's
finals.
doing
because
Zombie
you want a
Knights.
Zombie Knights, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's like, you get the one unit that can really damage the Castellan,
Right.
Stonecrusher, or the Eldar Flyers or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't kill it,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's fighting like full.
Yeah.
And again, any smart Knight player with a Castellan, if I pull that trick off, they're not gonna be like, well, I better kill that other Stonecrusher waiting for me. And they're like, I better fucking kill Swarm Lord. So it's not getting to me.
okay, Volcano Land Swarm Lord to the face, done, cool,
Yep.
thanks.
Yeah, we just don't have, in our shooting, and I get it, Tyranids are not meant to have dominant shooting, and it takes dominant shooting to kill a Knight range. I get that. That's okay. But we need way better melee armor crushers, because we just don't have any besides Stone Crushers, which
Yeah.
are,
It is
again,
definitely
slow.
a weakness in the Codex, for
Yeah.
sure.
And-
It's hard.
And again, the things I was pointing out is we have very few actually high quality attacks, right? Like things that I'm like, here's
It's just
-3,
massive
-4,
quantities. It's not-
and that doesn't work against Knights.
No. In 40k, the quantity is the quality of its own. Maxim doesn't work.
It does in some cases. It just doesn't when you're trying to kill Knights. Like, I can beat Knights and have, but it's by playing the mission, right? And
Yeah.
not really engaging them. If I do kill a Knight, it's because full Hive Guard have double shot into them. I've gotten two or three smites off on them, and then Swarm Lord comes in with the reroll wound stratagem, and it's like, cool. I just spent 900 points
To kill 300.
to kill
because it's a gallon
350 or
Yeah.
400, whatever. And then if I position that poorly, I'm trading Swarm Lord for a fucking Knight, so the rest of my army just stops working.
Yeah, because the other gallon
Yeah.
charges it, or it takes a volcano lance to the face.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, cool.
It's
Right.
true.
So we need a way to be able to equitably peace trade with Knights. Of like, cool, well, I send these two guys in. Yeah, I'm losing 300-ish, 200-ish, 250, 300 points, but I
You
killed
gotta
your
bring a
fucking
Bio
Knight.
Titan.
Yeah. No, our Titans suck.
I know they do.
Like, oh my god, Forge World hates us. Like, they really do, because all of our Titans are
And all those models are so
garbage.
beautiful too.
They are. They're great. They're just fucking garbage. Like, they're too expensive. They die, and they don't do enough damage.
Yeah.
What are your plans, Adam?
Um,
When the inevitable or nerf comes down to your CP farm.
He has every other army, so
I'm
we'll just find what's good.
I was building a. Actually, I
Death Watch.
don't. Yeah, I'm building a. I built a Death Watch list that has. It's basically Death Watch, Imperial Guard.
CP battery.
Sort of. My Warlord for the Death Watch will have one of them, and then the Imperial Guard will have the other one. And it depends what the ruling is. Then I can drop one
Yeah.
or the other.
Right.
But right now it's Watch Captain Artemis, because I was able to get listeners sent me the model, so I'm going to use it.
Oh, that's cool.
And the Librarian, two units of suicidal veterans with the frag cannons, because they'll just deep strike in.
Frag cannons are so fucking
And then
annoying.
yeah, three units of intercessors with the Inceptor, the flying guy,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
can
yeah.
fall back and shoot.
Yeah.
And then a Leviathan, a Daredeo. I think right now I'm keeping them with the autocannons, because there's actually strength 8 autocannons and 2 damage.
Yeah, the Daredeo's autocannons are good.
The
It's
other
just
au-
expensive, man.
It's only 50 points.
No.
The total,
dread.
yeah.
Oh,
The total.
It's almost under 300. The Leviathan's like 400 points.
But the Leviathan is better.
Yeah, I'm taking both.
Right.
But the Leviathan has
Yeah,
the gun that has 10 shots, strength 7.
The Storm Cannon array.
Storm cannon array. That's it. -2 or
What's the other
minus
arm?
2 damage. They're both the same. So it's like
Double
20
Storm
shots.
Cannon
Yeah.
arrays, yeah.
The Imperial Fist player and the Ultramarines player both had that, and it was just
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
it's 2 damage.
It's an amazing
2
number
damage
of shots,
is
yeah.
Yeah, and then but for the Daredeo, I'm thinking of it's either that, which at 50, or if I can find the points for 25, I take I take glass cannons instead, and they're strength 10, and on a 6 they do a mortal wound in addition to the
Right.
the
Good
wound.
damage, yeah.
Leviathan, And then the Hyperion or Hyperios Whirlwind,
Okay.
because it's only 90 points. Because I'm not used to having to worry about relics.
Yes.
Right.
So because I'm playing Space Marine, I have to worry about like having the same amount of elites or heavies
Right,
as I
yeah.
do whatever. Because the Hyperios is an elite, and the Daredeo is an elite relic. The Leviathan's a heavy relic. So the Hyperios Whirlwind is a heavy, and then I take in a Primaris Apothecary for the elite because it's only
Right.
like 70 points or something like that.
Okay.
So it's a cheap elite to counteract the Daredeo.
And,
And-
Leviathan.
Well, Leviathan is the Hyperios, which is only 90 points. Brings back
But the Leviathan Dread is
a heavy.
it's a heavy. I thought it was an elite. Oh, okay.
No, I mean I'll
It's been
double
a
check.
long time since I used one. So.
Yeah, I'll double check.
I used Index last time. I was playing Index Marines last
Oh,
time.
yeah. And I think the Hyperion is 90. I'll double check on the points. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll adjust whatever the points value is. And then Imperial Guard Battalion with 2 company commanders, 2 squads of 10 guys, and then 2 squads of 5 Tempestus Scions with plasma, 2 plasma.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the army.
Nice.
So that's what I want to build. I still have a shit ton of Marines just because
Yeah.
everyone does. So I can build. I just need to get the frag cannons, and then I have those teams, and then I just need to get the Primaris stuff. So
Cool.
hopefully within the next month or 2,
Sounds
should
good.
have that all done. And they're black with silver, so
Easy.
it's not that hard to paint.
No.
The only thing I have to worry about are the shoulder pads with the chapter insignias.
Yeah.
But a lot of them come in
No
the
Imperial Fist.
Why not? Oh, because it's yellow. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
do
no yellow.
No yellow. LB
Crimson
Fist.
yeah.
So with the Death Watch upgrade sprue,
Yeah.
you know, that's really all I have to really paint.
Yeah.
It's true.
So that's the plan for now. So if I finish that army fairly quickly, like within the next 2 months, let's say, I should be able to get that 4th army in to meet my
Your goal.
my goal, which I will never do again. Unless you want to count a Duchess Titanicus as an army.
It is.
I
You
wish
spent
I-
about the money on it.
I know, right?
I didn't finish Grey Knights. I didn't finish the Necrons, but I did finish the Knights in the Astral Military.
And
I
then
didn't
for
take the challenge.
and then for some reason I'm getting the core of a Easterling army for Middle Earth.
Cool. Have fun.
So that's fine. And then I have my Jordanian army for
It's not a thing.
Fate of Nation.
Not a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
So
at the
good night,
store.
everybody. Adam's starting to talk about things
Historicals.
Yeah.
It's not off. It's not as off the rails as John over there.
What'd I do?
See? Any final thoughts? Words of wisdom?
No.
Damn.
I'm tired.
Tired. Just chasing kids around.
Yeah.
Danny,
The
you're
show-
not on very often, unfortunately.
This show's gone downhill since season 7. There's my Futurama reference for the.
We've only had 4 seasons. Do we even break this up into seasons?
No.
No, we don't.
Well,
Oh my god.
Forge World, please stop hating Tyranids. Or better yet, Forge World, please just let me write your rules, okay?
There
Hire me, I'll do it too.
I'll do that for just models.
Forge World, the 3 of us.
Not even good models. Just
We'll
Not even good models.
you know,
Just models.
you know,
I'm not
gotta-
going to do it for models, but I'll do it for cheap. Remotely from my home here.
They
in
do
Mexico.
not do that. So
Yeah.
I know.
no. Once
They also
again,
don't have the requisite accents.
Nova is great. I suggest anyone if you ever have the chance to go, if it's just once.
Yeah. I think there's actually UK labor laws why they don't do it. About
That's racist.
it's actually it's nationalist more than anything.
Whatever. Say.
Rails.
And
And we should invest in Rails
You're easy.
to stay on them. Invest in Rails.
There you go.
There's the top of the day.
There we go.
Pound
All
on
right.
tables when you got a live mic.
All right, everybody. Yeah, I will talk to you after that. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
See ya.